We
So,
could be
hello
talking about
everybody, hello everybody, welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players. Unfortunately, Sudz is not here. He has disappeared off somewhere, and he has not responded since. So, yeah. I am here with Harlan,
Hello,
playing as Sasha. Sam,
porn stars. Hello,
playing
porn
as
stars.
Elsyan. Simon,
Hello, porn stars.
playing as Queglod. And Infernal,
Hello, porn stars.
playing as
Oh,
Bhold.
nice, classy.
Yeah.
That was an upscale porn star.
Okay, hopefully sound test should be okay. Sam unfortunately has to resort to another mic because he keeps leaving things in places they shouldn't be. I'm not going to go any
It's
further
up
in
my
detail
asshole,
than
I'm
that.
sorry, okay? What?
Okay, that's on the internet forever now, Sam. If you ever get a job reference, don't ever ask me because I'm just gonna refer them straight to this video.
I would never ask you for anything like that in my life, Chris.
Why?
Well, I mean, considering the job occupation we've been talking about today, I mean that could be a big bonus actually.
I can fit a set of heads. I can fit my headset in my ass.
Oh, porn
Okay.
stars.
Good. Okay, so thank you to Zenosa for the art. There won't be any art being done for the next few days and or weeks just because of the anime con going through. So yeah, MCM.
Anime con?
MCM. Look it up.
Oh.
It's fun.
What?
Just look up MCM, that's what they're going to. So her and Jamie are going to MCM, and then
Just double
after
check.
they come back, somewhere in early to mid-June, they will hopefully be joining our sessions. So we will have some new players coming into
Wait.
this
Okay.
campaign.
So I'll probably be. I should give you fair warning now. 20th of June onwards for about a week will be. There might be. I might have to delay a little on.
Okay. That's fine. If obviously any of you need any delays, just let me know another time. Just give me sufficient warning. Or do it on break. That works too. Also, thank you to Tabletop Audio for the services they provide in allowing us to play music during D&D sessions and to many other D&D sessions like it. I recommend you go check them out. They release new things to the Patreons early, and they are pretty useful. You can add them to any situation, and they make very interesting campaign ideas. Also, thank you to Dungeon Pit Studio for allowing me to make dungeons like these. I won't be using any this session, hopefully. But other than that, that should be everything. If anybody else has anything else to say.
Porn stars.
And I might just make that the episode title now.
You will get plenty of views from it.
I will.
Mhm.
And
I mean, you're not wrong.
Easy clickbait.
easy clickbait. Easy
Do the
clickbait.
clickbait. Do the clickbait. Do the clickbait.
We'll see what I do. But regardless, I think we will get down to it now. So, last session, our party of adventurers, Sasha, Queglod, Elsyan, Bhold, and Malcom, finished up searching within the old section of a dungeon below the old necromancer's prison, where Grindel, their Taratan buddy, had now set up shop. After killing the final skeleton and claiming his sword as their own, the party made their way through into another room and were taken to another location entirely. Upon leaving through a teleportation circle on the other side, Malcom and Elsyan, who were first, discovered a small undead bulldog, who proceeded to bark at them. With the cries of help from somewhere in the room, they went to investigate, while Sasha, Queglod, and Bhold stayed behind until they were ready to move on. With the investigation, Malcom and Elsyan, along with Sasha, who followed up, who rushed in shortly after, found an undead skeleton trapped underneath some boxes, for according to him was about 200 years or so ago when it first happened. Choosing to free him from his situation, the party talked and discussed what the next plan of action would be, and so proceeded to let him live on the premise that he would be watched under the guidance of Grindel, before proceeding to loot what was left behind, which he told them they could take. With his newfound freedom and an empty day before them, the party now decided what to do next. They stand within a cleaned-up altar chamber of the Necromancer's dungeon, where they have just handed over the now named Abod to Gree, with Tiark following close behind them as they called for aid earlier in the day. So, you are currently all you're just standing there in the necromancer's chamber tomb. The Gree is hanging up above on some webs that seem to be being made. There are 2 giant spiders crawling around, currently creating webbing and stuff, and like filling in corners and so on, making it a little bit more to a particular design. You can see 13 is currently finishing regurgitating up a bunch of gricks into a corner area, and pulls out and transforms his arm into what looks to be a large blade, which he proceeds to carve off the surface tan of each of the gricks, as well as taking their beaks, their tentacles, and their hooks.
Oh, Gryffindor.
Yes, Behold.
I see you have more of those Greeks. I killed some of them earlier. I have some on me. Do you need them?
They're useful for potions, I'll say that much. I can also use them as furnishings, you could say. If you have any you wish to part with, I'm sure I could pay you a little bit. I still have some gold left over.
How much?
What do you have?
Let me check.
I'm willing to buy beaks, tentacles, claws, and the hide if you've got any of that left over.
I have 1 hide, 4 half beaks, 1 beak, and 7 tentacles.
Interesting. Well, I can take the tentacles for a gold apiece. It's not terrible. The whole beak I will take for 5 gold pieces. The half beaks, I can still use them, so I'll take them for maybe a gold each. And the hide I'll take off your hands for 10 gold pieces.
Much total is that?
Okay, so that's 10 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4. 10 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4, so that would be 26.
26, yeah.
26, and you can remove all of that from your inventory now. Excellent. Pleasure doing business with you. Yes, I'll be able to make some stuff out of this, see what I can do. I'll be setting up shop officially tomorrow. Then you can come back, and if you wish to buy anything, I will have had a little bit of time to get some venoms and potions ready by then. But until then, I'll be having more dwarves come down here and deal with the back area. No offense, Sasha. They're just the team that I hired because they are particularly skilled.
Oh, not at all. Although, since you're here, I discovered this Naga ruby. Would I know it's called that? There's this strange sort of human-faced serpent, mechanical serpent down there, and when it died, I managed to salvage this from it, and I pull out the Naga ruby. I don't suppose you have any idea what it is.
Okay. He climbs down the side of the altar after and hands off the gold to Bhold, and proceeds to reach for it and takes it in his hand. You watch as he brings his other 2 hands that are on the underside. He brings them up and he clasps it with all 4 hands, and he begins to swirl it around and try and inspect it a bit more. Tiark at this point turns and says, I'm going to head off. I'm going to head back, seeing as you didn't need our aid after all, and I have some things I need to attend to. If you did want further work, and any of you did want to aid with the clearing out of the back area, you're welcome to do so. Obviously, we'll pay you as the same we pay the dwarves. It will not be the same rate as last time, Bhold, seeing as last time we paid you because of the disgusting work, and we needed a strong arm and a fighter. But, now that we know it's cleared out, you'll be paid the regular hourly fee.
Okay.
If you wish to join in. If not, that's perfectly fine. Good day to all of you, and if you ever need to speak to me again, I will be in the tactician's room. And he proceeds to make his way up and heads through the illusory door and disappears off.
Bye-bye now. Whilst we're all here, everyone agrees having a look at that. So, have I mentioned the shattered swords yet?
I don't believe you have.
What are you doing?
Well, it's a one of those mercenary adventure guild type situations, and well, it's in the city, and they handed over some money, which I put into the group fund when after they learned that we dealt with the oaksmith spiders.
No. Very good.
I need to visit them to pick up something. I had one of them have a look at for me. But other than that, if anyone's interested, they had a number of jobs there. Specifically, some that might be heading down south, which I think we're all a little interested. You know, once the festival has come and gone.
South?
Yes, south, towards the enchanted forest, enchanted glade, and the dwarven city.
Ah,
There's
yeah.
another spider problem towards the south, wasn't there?
Yes, that was one of the jobs that might be good for us to have a go at, seeing as we did quite well in the last one.
I'm sick
Yes,
of
that
fighting
seems quite similar.
spiders.
There's also an escortion mission that means we help keep some fancy pants person nice and safe. I'm assuming you'd enjoy that, Elsyan.
Now, it'd be good to have some decent company for a change.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
When
Rue,
you
by
say
the way,
stuff
when
like
you
that, it hurts, Sasha. It hurts.
Oh, silly me. I'm going to just hold out my hand underneath my drift globe and state Nox.
it lights up and floats before you.
Nope, that's the opposite. It was already floating. I'm unfloating.
Oh, you're unfloating. Yes, no, it is the other way around. Yeah, you knocks and it drops into your hand.
Excellent. I just I secrete that away.
Okay.
What did you say this guild was called?
The Shattered Sword, I believe, or Shattered Swords.
What's a guild? What's a guild?
I cannot hear you for the life of me.
What's
As
a
you
guild?
said,
Oh, group of people that organize it so that they get paid for doing hero work, but other people do all the maths and what's the word I'm looking for?
administration?
Administration. Thank you, Elsyan. Only you're good for something.
What was that, Sasha?
Nothing at all. I'm sorry, I'm a dwarf. We're used to mumbling.
The only thing
Anyhow.
your kind is good at is mumbling.
How's Gree looking with what he's doing?
He looks up from you, or looks up at you and goes, "Well, it seems this orb has minor magical property. It seems to have the sentience to defend a particular location. It was imbued into its original construction. You could potentially reuse it if you wished to house a particularly arcane-based construct. The level of which would be limited, but it could potentially be enhanced if it's replaced or remade, or at the very least it could be dumbed down into something fairly simple or small to have a new role. The crystal itself doesn't seem to be the main focus for this. It seems to be the source of the magic. You could try and replicate it, but I've never seen magic like this before. It's new to me."
I've recently come into something that could help me understand it a bit better. So once I've had the chance to get to use that, I'll be able to see what I can do. Who knows? Might be a bit of an interesting experimentation. Also, Gree, I don't suppose you're starting up a business here. Would you be in the market for unusual alloy?
It wouldn't be off my list, but I mainly work with potions.
Hmm.
I'm a potions and venom individual. I also collect magical items and resell them. That's fairly easy to do. I still have a few stored up in 13 for later sales.
That's fair. Well,
We'll see what your new friend can do. if he can do anything and work with metals, I might be able to use
Mm,
that. At this point, like, Abod is currently like crawling up the stairs. He's like gotten to this point. He's halfway up and he's already exhausted. So it's like a 15 to 20 foot upwards, and he's like getting up the stairs. He's like 10, 15 foot up already. Because the stairs zigzag.
Abod,
He
you
looks
don't
down.
have muscles.
Yes.
How are you tired?
I don't know. I just am.
Magic is weird.
It is weird.
Probably forgotten how to walk after 200 odd years.
You're
Yes,
not wrong.
that's
I'll
it.
say that much.
Have you done any work with metals or the like?
I don't know. I could probably try and see if there's anything that I could work with. But
Well,
otherwise, I don't know. I have never tried.
Well, if you discover an interest, have at it. If not, no big deal. It's just something that I've got a bit of experience in. Well, right. I thank you for helping me identify the ruby Grigandel. We'll be back soon, and hopefully we will become what's the word? Regular
Acquainted?
patrons.
That works for me. Well, take care, and if you have any early commissions you would like to get in now, I can try and make some things.
I can't think of anything at the moment, but friends and acquaintance. Don't worry, Elsyan, I know.
Nothing at this time, but I think we'll keep you in mind if we have any need.
Good. Well, pleasure doing business with you. And see you in the future. You can see yourself out.
Bye.
And you proceed to head through the illusory door?
Yep, I think so.
Okay. You make your way through the illusory door, you appear on the other side in the navigation room, and you're back on the spiral staircase, and you can see a few individuals moving around. The staircase is wide enough for multiple people, you don't need to worry too much about having to squeeze past somebody. But a small group makes their way up, and they proceed to head into one of the upper rooms before leaving off. What would you like to do?
Guys, now that I have this other weapon, I have a ring which makes my attacks magical if you want it. If anyone needs it.
I don't think I need it. Anyone else?
I'm pretty sure my weapon's already magical. I mean, yeah. I think we can just sell it.
Okay. If anyone doesn't need it, I'll sell it.
Yes, I
Right.
believe we've seen Malcolm enchant his staff with some sort of magic, so
Malcom
I can't
nods.
imagine he will need it. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm heading off to the Shattered Swords. If anyone would like to come with me to get a feel for the place, feel free. If not, well, that's your decision.
Are there strong people there?
Drunk people?
Strong.
Oh, strong people. They seemed quite strong. I don't know how they'd feel about a fight, but you could probably learn some things there. Like you did
Ooh.
with Miss Payne.
Oh, I will
Baroness?
come with you then.
Baroness Payne? Was that?
Yes.
What?
Baroness Payne, yes.
Right. Like, do I call her Miss Payne?
Oh.
Baroness? It's an actual title? Is it like it's a? Oh, these.
We have rooms in the inn, right? Or no?
In the inn, you work for or you have membership in the Phoenix, so you have the ability to.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
just
true.
got the barracks there.
So you
How
have
far
to
away
stay
is
in the
it
barracks.
from here? How far away is it?
Like getting out of the navigation room's fairly easy. You just have to go past the big fight pit and across the courtyard. So
Question: if Malcolm
3
isn't
minute
here,
walk,
can
max.
we access the
Bag of holding.
Bag of holding? That's fine. Yeah, there's plenty of books in there and stuff as well. But the bag of holding is currently full.
Yeah, I was thinking we need to empty it.
Sasha,
Mhm.
I wanna come with you, but I need to put these books down in our room.
Sure thing. Let's do that first. We can take the time to have a look through the bag of holding and see what we can sell off because it's getting quite
Yeah,
full.
Yeah,
I
Malcolm.
have
Malcolm pipes
two
up.
chainmails as well.
Malcolm pipes up and says, "I mean, well, we've got all these bags in the bag of holding. We could head to the library first and then go to the Shattered Sword. I mean, the Shattered Sword is just, if I remember correctly, it's just straight south of the library." And they're both roughly near. They're near enough to each other. It shouldn't be that far of a walk to go to the library first, drop all the books off, and then head south.
I thought we were keeping the books.
no, we're selling them.
Oh, we're selling them. Oh, well, that's all right.
He's not here to contest it, so yeah, you're selling them.
Yeah,
I've
he
just remembered
messaged
that
me.
I have some
Let's
books.
sell the books.
I just remember that I've got some books that probably should go back
He's
as
going
well.
to. He's going to
Very
keep
well. It
specific
makes sense
ones
to go
on.
it makes sense to go by the library then before the Shattered Sword. It might be worth having another look through the bag of holding, figuring out everything we plan to sell before we set
Yeah.
out.
Well, I'm going to be holding on to some of the dragon books because I need to do a little bit of extra reading just to see if there's anything I need to go through. I read it while I was in there, but to fully read it, I'm going to need a day or two. Everything else that's in the bag of holding. There's a lot of torches which we don't really need now that everybody's okay and light, and we've got the drift globe. So we could sell off a lot of those or dump them or whatever we need to do. I've still got some venom sacks. I can sell them off to some alchemist somewhere. I've also got a bunch of random pieces of equipment: daggers, short bows, short swords.
I'll take anything metal.
So you can have
I have
the
two
daggers
chain
then if you
armor.
wish.
many
I've
daggers
also
and-
got the old Taratan plate that I was wondering if you could make that into a breastplate at some point. I mean, we haven't got any immediate missions, so if that's okay.
Yes, I will be doing some work soon after I've had some time off to learn a new skill. I can begin. I can do that in a few days if you'd like.
That works for me.
Okay, how many daggers and how much those things weigh?
2 daggers, they weigh £1 each.
Coolio. And the Tartan plate, how much does that weigh?
The Tartan plate weighs £50.
Oh,
You okay to carry
That's
that?
a lot. Yeah, I'm okay to carry that. It's just that is a lot.
Yeah, it can make a full breastplate on its own, plus a little bit extra, because it's pig iron.
Cool.
I have 2 pairs of chain armor you gave me.
Right. I can't carry those right now, but
fine.
we can.
You could always
But
lumber them to the forge for later.
Yeah, can we actually do that? Let's drop off all of the metal stuff, all the scrap metal and stuff I've got off of the forge.
I've seen you going to and from the forge. Usually they're okay with dropping bits off for later use,
Right,
as long as you come back
let's
within the day to inform them or take it home or whatever.
Let's do that. I'll be at the very least seeing. I'm on good terms with the forge master, so let's do that.
Where is the forge relative to the library and the guild?
The forge is in the Phoenix, so it's like it's a 2 to 3 minute walk across the courtyard to into the crafting area. The end of which is where you would have the enchanting section where you learn how to enchant, and the forge is the first one on the right.
We're already in the Undercity, so we might as well.
Yes, that makes most sense as the first stop.
Yeah. Okay. So you begin to make your way through there, you head in through the courtyard, and you can see that there's, about this time, it's about midday. It seems to have died down a lot in terms of busyness. None of the shops seem to be open with the exception of one Slitharian individual. He's a blue Slitharian with what looks to be a nice tuxedo suit like on. He's leaning on a cane at the moment.
Would I happen to recognise that?
Yeah, you know exactly who this is, and he's currently over in one store, and he's currently leaning, and he looks very, very bored, and he. Okay, yeah. You're not being particularly
Would
stealthy, are
Malcom
you?
recognize him?
No, I'm not trying to hide.
Okay, yeah. He spots you, and he pulls out a hat from below, puts it on, and then tips his hat and puts it back down.
This isn't the same guy I met, is he?
Yes, it is. It is exactly the same one.
I'm going to go over to him because I need to get something from him, actually.
Okay, you walk over. Now,
Hello.
as you
Hello,
begin
that's just
to leave, Malcom goes, "We'll meet you at the forge if you've got something to take care of, Elsyan. Don't be too long."
Oh, I won't be too long. I'll catch up.
And he proceeds to. And does anybody else wish to join him, or are you heading to the forge?
We're heading to the forge.
Yeah, I'll head to the forge for now. I don't
Yeah,
need
wait,
anything
it's a
from
short
the
stop
moment.
to drop stuff off,
Yeah.
really.
So Elsyan, you go over, and he goes, "Ah, good to see you. Come to buy some more stuff. Hope that chest set's doing you well.
The chest set is doing me very well.
Good.
Haven't lost a game yet with it.
Excellent. How many you played?
Oh my god, it's a cheat set. Should have known.
It's just not just fancy as fuck. I believe 3 games so far.
Good. So it wasn't a wasted purchase. Good, and it's only been 1 day as well. You do have a lot of free time.
Now, I was wondering, I don't suppose you got any nice casual wear. I've been wearing this armor for far too long, and I feel like I need something just more civilized.
Are we talking high-end casual clothes? Are we talking formal wear? Are we talking a little bit more elven in design?
Of course, elven in design.
I said nice casual wear.
I said, yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm an elf. That's only one. I know. But clothing that would be good for many occasions.
Okay, I think I know what works. And are you looking for any add-ons?
That all depends on what you have, good sir.
Well, and he goes down below. He proceeds to look about. I have a few things. I have what would be one of the more ceremonial elven robes, ones that they might have in high society when they're having a formal dress code or something like that. It's a bit more high, and it makes you look a bit more pompous, if that's what you're trying to go for. If not, I have something more formal. Regardless, both of them are equipped with a slide-out blade, and a section where you can hide a few vials if you wish to on the underside of the sleeve. And
Nice.
the shoes that go with them, depending on which ones you're going for, there's one which has the set which go with the more formal wear, and he pulls up what looks to be kind of like a similar tuxedo style thing that he's wearing. The shoes have a similar blade that you can pop out by stamping your foot relatively hard. It's not a bad weapon to use. It can catch someone by surprise. Defense, similar. Just don't do it while you're tap dancing. Kind of gets a bit obnoxious. And there is a small compartment on the base of the heel, which allows you to hide something either inside it, where you can get to it later, or where you can quickly slide something if you need to hide something from someone or sneak it past individuals. The hat also has a similar function with a small compartment on the top for papers.
Very well, but I don't think I'll be wanting a hat.
Understandable.
But
With the full attire to this, I would probably say the full suit, including the shoes, excluding the hat, I'd probably say around 75 gold pieces.
75 gold pieces.
It
Just
comes
checking,
with...
this is the full ceremonial, really fancy shit, right?
This is either you can take the tuxedo for the 75 gold pieces, which is a nice dark tuxedo. It has all pieces of it has a bow tie and something similar. It has the tails to it. It has a little bit more of a militaristic theme to it, but it's still elven in design. It's elegant with the flowing sections. It's got a nice golden trim in sections with a little bit of scribing along the side. And looking inside, where you would usually have buttons holding the cuff closed, there is a small inserted blade which you can pull out when need be to become a quick dagger, if necessary. The shoe, as he said, putting it on the surface of the stool, a small blade slides out the front of it, and he shows you the hidden compartment on the base of the heel by lifting up the insole, and inside there's a small compartment which you can slide open or closed.
Okay. But I still think I'm going to go for the. How much is the really fancy one?
The really fancy one that makes you look pompous, it's got a little bit more of a flowing theme to it, with kind of a more of a cloak design where it rolls off the shoulders and it comes around you a bit more. It has the inner pockets and lining to it that has a nice red to it. The outside is a little bit a dark navy blue almost. Golden trim around the base, and everything else that comes with it is a bit more loose, allowing you to breathe a bit more. The cuffs of the sleeves, there's only a blade in one side, not in both, so you don't be able to pull one. And the shoes that go with it, unfortunately, they don't have the blade, but they do have the compartment with it. For that, I'll probably run about 80 gold pieces due to its formality and construction.
Very well, you haven't let me down so far. I'll take that one.
Which one is that one?
That one. The fancy one.
The fancy
The
one.
really fancy one.
Okay, you hand over 80 gold pieces, he folds it up and he says, "Would you like a gift wrapped?"
No, I'll carry it myself, thank you.
Okay. He proceeds to fold it up, puts the shoes on the top, and hands it over to you and says, "Thank you very much, and if there's anything else you wish for in the future, I'm sure I can fix something up."
Okay, no, I'm going to get that on, then catch up with the others.
He gives a mild bow as you go, pulls up his hat, gives it a nod, and proceeds to go back to leaning on his cane. Similar to the one you own. Well,
Interesting.
similar, but it's not an umbrella, it's a cane.
Yeah, so not really
You
that
catch
similar
up
at
with
all.
the rest of the party. The rest of you have all headed in, and there is the Forge Master Doric before you. Purr, purr, purr. Just working away on the anvil at the moment with what looks to be a short sword of sorts, just hammering away, flattening out the metal at the moment. And as he's working on it, you can see that he's trying to. He's working it differently than usual. Make a insight check, please, Harlan.
I shall do so.
Okay.
That is a 15, I believe.
By the looks of it, he's attempting to do something similar to what you're doing. He's trying to begin his journey down the path of being able to artisan.
Okay. Can I try and have a look? Can I see if is he doing it right? Is he doing it wrong?
He's currently, from the looks of how he's working, he's hammering away at the metal, and he just seems to be hammering like the metal as it would regularly be hammered. He just seems to be doing regular blacksmithing, but he's trying to channel more of his infernal bloodline. For the rest of you who haven't met the Forge Master, he is a nice deep red. He has two upward horns that go into like a U shape almost, and they curve off at the tips. He has a little bit of a beard that comes down, small goatee, he has a mustache to match, and he wears what would look to be regular white shirt, brown pants, and a leather tunic on the front. He has two large Forge Master's gloves on. He's got a large hammer, and as he's hammering, sparks fly and they hit his skin, but they don't seem to react. Obviously used to the heat from being a tiefling.
I'm going to clear my throat, but I'm trying to be
subtle,
not too loud as to shock him, but just loud enough to get his attention.
Okay. I'm going to roll a perception with disadvantage because he's working on a thing. Nope, he doesn't notice you. Just continues working on it. and as he continues to work, you watch as the blade begins to take shape.
Doric.
Oh, and as he lands a hit, he misplaces the hit, and it causes the metal to warp a little bit in a particular spot. And he goes,
Oh, apologies.
No, that's fine. I'll fix it later." And he just dumps it straight back into the forge, and he puts the hammer down and goes, "How can I help?"
We're here to drop off some metal I was planning on using in the coming week or so. Would that be all right?
Yeah, sure. If you want to just leave them for scrap, we'll find a use for them. I'm sure the other boys would like to work a little bit on that.
Some of it's pure scrap. Some of it I have special plans for.
Okay, that's fair enough. If you wanted to store that, I'm sure I can store that. I'll keep it in a few boxes under my own personal workstation. I'll try to remember they're yours.
Thank you.
What would
Am
you
I
like to drop
correct
off?
in thinking you were trying to forge as I do?
Similar. I'm trying. Yours is more of a divine sense. I'm trying to do it from an infernal sense.
I mean, the divine and the infernal share.
They share common
They
goals
aren't-
and that, but it's one of those things where
they aren't as different as they'd have you think.
yes, I mainly have them just more as a standing for. It's the closest thing I have. You said it took you many years to figure out how to figure this kind of trick out, and
I can give you a bit of a hint.
Mm.
If it wouldn't do well to just tell you, but what you really want to do is try and feel through the metals, sense the metal, and try and. You can't.
Here we go again.
You don't let your emotions control you. You can use your emotions to fuel the transformation, but you can't let them overwhelm you. What you have to do is feel what the metal
Shit!
wants.
They're here. Run!
I've said too much already. I have to flee.
Okay. You say this to him. He gives you a little bit of a quizzical look.
It's not so much about the forging as it is about the feeling. I imagine it's slightly different for you, seeing as it's an infernal entity that you're trying to, whose power you're trying to mimic. But that's the best help I can give.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I figure out anything. If I don't, then that's fine. If I do, then thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
When I was learning, I used broken hammers that would shatter after a single hit.
That sounds
If you
like a
can
waste.
use such a hammer to forge something as similar to how I have done previously, then well, you'll be in good standing for doing good work. Anyway, there was one other thing.
Okay.
How interested would you be in an alloy that I don't believe has been made before successfully?
Depends. Is it for your own personal use, or is it just to gloat? Because
It's more
I
of
am buying
a-
alloys which are unknown.
It's more of a matter of I'm looking to get the materials to create some en masse so that I can sort of ferret it out, sell it out, and to others.
Well, if you found a new alloy, if you found a new combination, and it's a good metal, why not keep that secret to yourself? Why not use that to make some powerful things?
Well, I could, but I wouldn't want the secret to die with me should something terrible happen to me.
Someone will figure it out eventually. These sorts of things happen.
All right. Well, I won't tell you how to make it, but what if I told you I could stabilize Mysterial?
That's not a thing that's possible. Mysterio is too unstable. It destroys itself upon being attempted to
Remind me,
crafted.
my holy symbol is in fact made from that mixture. Yes.
Yes, it is.
I'm just gonna pull it out and say, "Are you entirely sure about that?"
He's going to inspect it. Well, I'll be darned. If it is made of material, as you say, then that's mighty fine, but what does that do for you? Material is
Well,
unstable, it's difficult to work with. It's prompt to exploding most of the time, causing some noxious gas.
Well, the gas is dealable with.
You're a dwarf, of course it is.
Yeah.
For us, it's deadly.
Well, think of it as the magical potential of this metal is high, as with normal material. Except now it doesn't explode every time you hit it. It could be interesting, and I feel there might be, and because it's undiscovered, I feel there may be properties to it that have yet to be explored.
If you're willing to give away the secret, I'll take it. If you're gonna sell the secret, I won't be buying it. But it might be worth, if you think this is something important, bring it up with Rahal.
All right then.
She's the
I
one
shall do
who'll
so.
be able to deal with it. She'll be able to fuel this fire if it ever becomes that.
Well, I shall do so. Just wanted to make sure that no one else had already discovered it.
No, Mysterio's too unstable. No one works with it. It's practically just a precious gemstone, which isn't even that precious. It's dangerous, if anything.
But dangerous. But controlled danger can be quite useful.
It's at this point, Elsyan, that you've walked up and you're beginning to hear the tail end of this conversation.
Anyhow, yes. Elsyan.
Elsyan, you look like a pimp.
He hasn't put it on yet. He's just carrying it.
No. I said
Not
I'd
the
get
cape.
changed and walk over to.
Oh, you
catch up.
changed. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're wearing a. You see Elsyan in a fabulously fitting, loose casual clothes. What looks to be a set of nice flowing pants and shirt. He's got a nice cape on, which is buckled together by a simple rope and two large metal plates that sit just off the edge of the shoulders. The cape itself is a deep navy blue, with the inside of it being a nice crimson red. There's some gold scroll along the side and the base of it, and he's got a nice pair of shoes to match.
Do you know what I'm imagining? I'm imagining Vegeta's spacesuit from when he originally appears in Dragon Ball Z.
No. God damn it. That's actually got me thinking. Now, I'm not saying that I will do this, Chris, but would it be possible to use telekinesis to have my hair spike up like Vegeta's does?
Yes. You're gonna
I have to think if I'm actually going to do that at some point, but...
Okay.
Oh no, he's going Super
Oh
Saiyan.
no, he's going to impale someone on his hair.
Right. Well, Doric, I'll leave all this metal and weapons I'm planning on reforging with you. Yes. So basically, the tartan plate, the daggers, the scrap iron plate, the naga scrap, the scrap shields, and anything else. That's it. The chainmail that
Oh, that was weird. I just got a little bit of lag there.
Infernal Scar. Okay, all of the metal things are being placed here,
Okay.
and the actual scrap is I'm happy to throw into like the scrap, like the pig iron scrap sort of stuff. I'm happy to throw in the.
Were you going to
the
throw in
scrap box.
the plate in there?
No, not the plate. No,
The plate.
remember
So it would be the two daggers, and that would be it, because the naga was made of magical
Drop the
metal.
chain armor as well.
Mhm.
The chain armor, were you going to throw that in the scrap, or were you going to throw that in the regular stuff?
Regular stuff. It's got a lot of iron in it. It's going to be useful for me to turn
Okay.
into actually useful
So you've
stuff.
got the so you got two. I'll write this down in my notes.
I'll delete for the chain armor.
Yes. Okay. So let's see the. This will be under my shopping tab. I'm just going to make note of this so that I know who has this, and so that you can remind me of it later on and know where it is. So, Forge Master Doric.
Has now got an inventory.
Currently has the following. Crude tartan plate, 2x chainmail, and was that it? Or were you going to also drop off the Naga steel?
I'm dropping off the Naga scrap, the scrap iron plate, with him, and the scrap shields that I had left.
Scrap iron plate and the scrap shield.
It basically comes to
okay.
11.
The scrap shields you can remake them, but they're made out of pig iron. So did you want to put them in the scrap bin?
Oh, they're going in the scrap then. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, there's not enough of it for me to turn into something decent iron. So
Yeah. How much does the Naga scrap weigh? It's 16 pounds, I think.
16 pounds, yes.
And the chainmail is a total of 110.
Yes. And there was some scrap iron plate, which was 15 pounds, which is basically just 15 pounds of iron, as far as I'm
yes, 15 pounds of iron is what that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've collected all of that, or
can I just get rid of all of that out of my inventory now?
Yeah. Go ahead. I will remove anything that was in Sudz's inventory, which is leading to that.
The daggers also they
daggers have been put in the scrap bin.
Cool.
I put the daggers in the scrap bin because they're not worth it.
Yeah, there's 2 pounds. Not really that.
£2, and at best you might be able to extract a little bit of iron out of it just because of the way they're built. So, okay, so yeah. Is that everything?
I think so. Yeah, I'll be using that to make some stuff up for the festival. You know.
Ah, for when you get to the creation side of things.
Yes.
Yes, we sellers will be taking our new guys, and we'll probably be heading up. A few of us will be heading up to sell our own things. I'll say there's quite a bit of competition. I will give you forewarning. You need to book a spot if you're going to sell stuff.
Yes, I was planning on talking to Rohal after I mentioned my new alloy.
Yes, to do that, I would say if you're trying to get a spot, obviously talking to Rohal would be good. But the main things to keep in mind is that most of this goes through the High Governor. Now, obviously, as you know, the High Governor's dead. A new one arrives in 2 days. Or tomorrow, in fact. No, 2 days was yesterday. So the fact that a new one is arriving tomorrow means that you're going to either want to try and get on his good terms and get a position, or you're going to have to speak to Rohal and see what she can do. Speaking to Rohal is probably your best bet, but if you can get a position straight from the High Governor himself, you might even be able to get yourself front row seats in the prime areas of the festival itself. We can't speak to people like that, but I'm sure you might be able to try something.
I will see what I can do. As it stands, thank you, Doric. Everyone, shall we away?
Yes, I think we should.
Alright then.
Cool.
If you finished it.
By the way, how many pounds of metal does that, of iron does that come to, Chris?
Chris, check Steam, says Sudz.
Yeah, I know. I already checked it. I already know. Sudz is here.
Oh, hey, Sudz.
Well, unless he's
not
entered
here.
in. No.
Yeah, not in here, but...
Yeah. So what was that again? How much?
How much scrap iron is there, roughly?
With the crude tartan plate, that's £25 worth. With the chainmail, that's £110 worth. With the Naga steel, you don't know, or the Naga scrap rather, and the scrap iron plate is £15. So that is roughly £150 of iron you have there stored up.
Okay, so the Naga scrap, what is it?
The Naga scrap, from what you can tell, from what your basic Arcana level has told you, Naga scrap is enchanted. You don't know what with, and it doesn't seem to hold the enchantment. It's not fixed on the steel, on the scrap itself. I believe you identified it, and I said that it doesn't hold the enchantment. The Naga scrap seems to be whatever it has. It is complementary to the fact that it is able to channel magic. You don't know why. You'd need to go into more detail, and I'd say you'd need to probably spend an hour investigating, cutting it up, melting it down, that sort of thing, with about a pound of it to figure out what's going on.
That's what I'll be doing later on.
Yeah, that's just something to keep in mind.
Well,
I'll keep an eye on that stuff. As long as you come back and tell me what you're doing with it or use it within a week, that's fine. I'll probably need those boxes at some point. That's a lot of metal.
Don't worry. I'll be after a couple of days. I'm taking a couple of days to learn a new skill, and then I'll be coming into the smithy full force.
Good to know. With regards to smithy, it will be in full force over the next couple of days. Now, I believe you have special permissions from Rohal to have a position within the smithy at all times, as according to the work you did for her. As a result,
yes.
I will be putting these boxes under your own personal forge, which will be over there, if you wish to use it. It'll be designated for just you. However, if you don't use it, if you say you're not going to use it in a day, let us know. We will earn some extra revenue because many other people will be trying to craft with the upcoming festival.
For the next 3 days, I should say, it should be free.
Okay, I'll earn some extra revenue with that, and I'll see what I can do. With all this festival business, we've got more individuals coming into town and so on. So
I understand. Thank you very much, Dark.
You're welcome.
Now we must be on our way.
And you were asking, and Sam, you asked your thing. Which guy?
Oh, the governor guy. You know, so we spoke about.
Yes, he is.
Yes, okay.
That's the one I was talking about. Yes, that you know.
I made a connection and decided I should.
No, that's fine. Saying that guy is kind of,
you know what I mean,
contextual when basically you've met 5 guys so far in this campaign. And to be fair, you also don't know whether that character is a guy, so.
I just assumed. Oh, god damn it.
Yep, exactly.
Gender assumer.
I'll have you know that they identify as an Apache helicopter.
Oh, good for them. Glad to know Apache helicopters exist in this one.
They're identified as a tabaxi pirate.
So what are you doing next? Oh man, what are you doing next?
Have we been to the library yet, guys?
Yes,
No.
Sudz.
We're heading
Hey,
to the
Sudz.
library, I believe.
Hi, Sudz.
Hey, Sudz.
Hello.
So you're heading to the library?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's next. I guess.
So, you head outside. You go through the rest of the Under Tavern. You head to the outside world, and you're greeted by what would be a relatively small amount of people. It's fairly busy. It's not too busy. There are people moving about. It's a nice day. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's mostly windy. It's not a strong wind. It's a light wind that's out and about. And just people seem to be on the general full flow of the day life. Guards are moving about as usual, and you begin to make your way to the library. Then, yes, everyone's okay with going to the library.
Yes.
Okay, you head to the library. On your way there, do you guys just go straight to the library, or are you gonna go past the academy, or because the academy's on the way?
Does anyone have anything they want to do in the academy? I don't, so.
I don't have anything to do there that I know of.
Okay.
Sasha?
Speak
No?
now
Okay.
if anybody has any queries. Nope. Okay. So you make your way straight to the library. You get there and you can see there's people going in and out as usual. As you enter into the building, there is a very large group of students, and they're currently just sat around the tables. It seems that with the recent attack on the academy that you've had to deal with, it seems that a lot of them have been either reassigned or misplaced, or exams have been postponed, or something like that. You're not entirely sure. And a large portion of individuals are currently in the library itself. There seems to be a few more additional librarians out and about in the place, and you can. There generally seems to be a calm atmosphere. There seems to be Just a lot of people relaxing and enjoying the day while doing whatever research or preparation they're doing for anything they need. You can see that Poppy, the old lady, human desk maid, is currently over at her desk, currently with a large stack of books, and she seems to be going through and stamping them and putting them to one side. So, who takes point? Just for context on what's going on, Sudz, you're currently going to the library to sell the books. I've said that you are you're going to keep books on dragons that you might find interesting to learn anything from them, but otherwise you were going to sell the books that you were carrying. And Bhold, did you note down how many books you were carrying?
Let me check.
Because if you didn't, I'm going to ask you to go back and watch that little bit of the episode to try and figure it out. And if you don't, I'm going to say it's 2. Because you have 1 for each hand, even though I know it's more.
I want to say I remember like 4.
Put in.
Okay.
I think that's 20 something. Yeah, for sure. That's. I don't know how many I put in my backpack, and then the rest, like 20 something, I had in my hands.
Because you scooped up a bunch, so I will say, just for intents and purposes, unless you can find me an actual number.
Hello?
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Which episode is that? 22?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Sir.
Alright. You couldn't hear me before.
Okay.
I was trying to ask if it was the same
Which
library
episode was
where I
that, Chris?
went
22?
Yeah, it's the same library where you went. So it would be how many you have in your bag, plus I'm going to say 10, unless you find out in a specific number which you've got somewhere.
I believe mine was like 12 books.
You have 18 in the bag of holding.
18, okay.
Because you filled it all the way up, and then we've just got rid of some metal and stuff, so there's more room in there. So you're in the library at the moment. There are people about, and you were going there to hand over the books and or sell them to them, depending on how you wish to approach this.
Well, I guess I can take point since I've already been here.
Yeah, you know which books we're selling and which ones you want to keep as well.
Like, out of character, I've done my talking. You talk.
Okay.
So you make your way up to the desk maid. Poppy is there. She currently has a stack of books. She's just going through stamping them, making sure that the pages are okay, flicking through the book, and she closes it, puts a slip in, and slides it to one side. And you watch as one of the half-orc individuals comes over with the small trolley and just scoops the books up, put them on, and proceeds to wait till the next book goes through, fills up the trolley, and then moves off, gives you all a nod, and heads out.
How can I help you?
What was that? You kind of cut off.
How can I help you?
We recently came across some old books, and we were coming to see if we could possibly sell them here.
If you wish to make a donation to the library, you're more than welcome to. In terms of buying books, we don't keep money on the desk. I can get someone to come down if you wish to talk about buying the books. Obviously, they'll be checking the condition of the books, the contents of the books, and so on, but if that is okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
Give me just a moment.
And she flags down one of the people helping out, putting out books, and she says to them,
Go and get the headmaster. He'll be the one to deal with this. These individuals wish to sell the library some books.
And individual gives a nod and heads out to the out down the library and proceeds to head up a small flight of stairs leading to the second floor and disappears.
This is where it turns out.
1 minute passes. 2 minutes pass. 3 minutes pass. And eventually you see a interesting individual. Not one that you would have expected. You see a humanoid individual, completely bald head, like clean bald head. They have deep black set eyes, They have what looks to be mascara around the eyes. They have what looks to be 2 almost war paint-like tattoos going over from the breach of their eyebrows all the way over the back of their head. The individual in question is wearing what looks to be a fairly simple robe, and to their side they have a belt which currently has 4 books lined up on it. They currently carry what looks to be a large, hefty book in their hand and a small pouch. And human individual comes over.
Chris? I had 40 books total.
40 books total? Did you watch
Yes.
the thing back?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, 40 books total then. So he comes up and goes, "So I hear you wish to sell us some books. If you'd like to come with me to my office, it'll be somewhere quieter and somewhere where we can discuss these matters at hand." Gives a nod, turns around,
Look at
and begins to wander off, gesturing for you all to follow him.
Alright, we'll head over then.
Okay. Heading through the library and heading up the flight of stairs, you travel to the second floor where there is the nice kind of a deep set orange metal with a nice blue and green checkered carpet that swings around the outside of the library shelves itself, with a few platforms overhead to allow for a little bit extra reading space, with a few small tables. After you go up, you travel around one loop and you head into a back room where you see there's a nice mahogany door. It's got a sign on it saying
Mahogany
staff
doors.
only. It's a
Mahogany doors.
it says staff only, and it's got some nice design on it. A nice bronze doorknob. He pulls it open, and inside you see what looks to be a general desk room. There are a few individuals sorting books. There are lines of extra bookshelves along the side. What seems to looks to be a basin with a bunch of scrolls rolled up in it. And you can see where he has a desk that it has his name there. Headmaster Fidri.
Fidri?
Fidri, yes.
Okay.
Fidri. Fidri. And you know that exact spelling because that's how it is on the small placard, I guess you could say. And
Back in a bit.
What'd you say, Harlan?
Back in a bit. Back in a bit.
Oh, back in a bit. Okay. And he goes to sit down. He goes, "So you wish to sell us some books? What do you have that we might want to buy from you?"
I'm going to look in the bag of holding and grab a book that doesn't look like it's
hello?
the one like the Tiefling one.
Hello, Infernal.
Alright, I lost connection for a bit.
Okay. So that doesn't look like the Tiefling book. Okay, so you're not gonna show him your porn star book, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's still a fitting title name.
Star.
And as you so you go through, you pull out a book on some magical creatures and stuff, and he takes a look at it and he begins to flick through and goes, "This is old literature." And he flicks through a few pages and he says, "These books are more than 200 years old. Where did you get these?"
We are adventurers, and we ran across a really hard place to explain. And
Are there more books there? There are plenty more books there.
possibly more books. We were in a hurry to leave.
I see. If you have more books like these are ancient relics, we'd be able to make some... We'd buy these off your hands plenty, depending on what you have, of course. Certain books we might have more updated versions, in which case those would be the ones displayed. These more ancient books we can maybe scry some ancient knowledge from. The paper is in good condition, so it's high quality materials. The covers themselves, they've also seemed to have held up to task. This one doesn't seem to have any magical properties from what I can generally sense. He pulls up a small stone and he holds it up and he says, "This would light up if there was any true magical presence from anything particularly nearby," and he puts it down on, next to the book and proceeds to go about inspecting it. "This is an old book. If you have more of these, we'd happily buy these off of you. I'd probably say..."
Do I still have the books with me, or what happened?
Yeah, you're currently carrying like just a pile of books that you just have on you at the moment. You're just carrying them over your arms, or in a hoop, like you would carry almost a baby almost, but it's kind of more careless. And a lot of the people who were around at the time when you were walking down the aisle and going up the stairs were watching you as this took place. At one point, you dropped a book, and Elsyan or Sasha picked it up and put it on top of the pile again. The usual run-of-the-mill book, depending on the tome, of course, would run you anywhere from usually about 10 gold to 25. With books like these, I could probably purchase these off your hands for 35 gold pieces per, depending on the quality and what it's written inside, of course. Maybe even higher, maybe lower.
Well, we did manage to grab quite a few books.
His eyes drift over to Bhold, who's currently got just this armful of books, and he's like, and
I set them down all the way on the table.
Just before you set them down, he puts up both of his hands and goes, "Hold on a second." He wavers the two help desks over, and they walk over and they begin to take books off and they put them down. A few have a few strange looks as they begin to put them down on the table. Malcom, you see one pass by, which is definitely smut. The Bhold seems to have grabbed.
And then I grab my backpack and pull out the rest.
Okay. Yeah, you begin to you begin to shuffle books on. One comes out with a little bit of slime on the underside of it. You just quickly wipe that off on your your like pelt pants or whatever it would be. You wipe it off and you put it down. It seems to be in good enough condition, even though it was a little bit slime covered.
A few of them might be inappropriate for some viewers.
I can see that. Did you want to keep those, or did you want to sell them anyway? Because we can sell them on, but we can't. We don't have a use for them in here in the library.
I don't believe we have a use for them either.
I'd probably buy them off of you for a lot lower price, obviously, but we can do something about that. So, and the two help desks begin to go through. They begin to categorize each book, and you get a good amount. Are you pulling out all of the ones that are in your bag of holding as well, with the exception of the ones that you know are smart, or are you gonna hand those over as well?
I'm gonna keep those. I might have a better place for those.
Oh, okay. So you're keeping those ones. Okay, there's a total of 3 in your little lot, so there's 15 books that you hand over. He begins to set them into different piles. Out of the 40, he finds what looks to be a good 10 that are smut. And he just puts those up in a small pile. Looks like Infernal cleared out, or Bhold cleared out a particular area.
Can we just take a brief moment to contemplate why in the fuck did a necromancer group have so much smut?
That is a very good point.
Well, to know how to create unlife, you have to know a lot about creating life.
Oh, really? Okay, now I'm going with all necromancers secretly just real horny.
I think they're just curious. I think they just don't understand the concept of normal procreation.
Yeah, and maybe if they watch more porn, they get it.
They get it, or read about it, and they just don't get it. So they keep buying these stacks and stacks. The one thing they can never understand.
Or perhaps they understand. They don't understand it properly because they watch too much porn.
read too much, as it may in this case.
They are
Can you guys
unable to
hear me?
form. They are unable to form true human or humanoid relationships with people.
Basically, all of necromancy is actually them just trying to come up with a way to make the perfect sex bot.
Okay, this episode took a strange turn. Just gonna say that.
I wanted to see how much. I managed 15 seconds or so. No, that was more like 5 seconds of silence there, which I'm pretty proud of. But I can do better, I'm sure. Give me a bit. Next time a good conversation comes up, I'll try and get something better in there.
Okay. So, as he's going through, he begins to look through each of the tomes and so on. Going through the big pile, and they put them into different categories. The Smart that came out to 10 total books that were Infernal, which were carried by Bhold. He looks at them and says, I'll purchase all these for 10 GP, if that's okay with you.
How many?
10.
How many? Ah.
Are you loud?
I mean, how do they look quality-wise?
The book itself is in good condition. There are ones which seem to be referring to different races. There's one about elves. There's one that particularly describes an exotic taste with the realms of the sky. So Tabaxi and Suzuki.
I know I picked out like ones with monsters on them.
Yes, you did.
There's a lot of monster fucking.
There's a lot of monsters on some of these. Yeah, there's one which speaks of a little bit of a romance novel, like kind of like a Beauty and the Beast style thing, but worse. If that makes sense.
Again, there's one that's just called The Beast with Two Backs, and
that's up to you. Either way, going through, there are a few that are good quality, but nothing particularly special. If you wanted to take any of them, you're welcome to, rather than sell
10 out of the 30 or 40?
It was 10 out of the 40, yes. So that would be 10 gold for all of that. He'd be paying a gold per book, which is not worth the price they'd otherwise be to selling them here, but obviously trying to find a place.
Library.
But trying to find a place to sell them is also very difficult and potentially dangerous.
That's bad.
Why does he not want to buy the other 30?
Oh no, he does. I just haven't told you the price he's willing to pay for them yet.
Ah, okay.
I'd say it's probably worth just selling them off here if we have no real use for them.
You can have them for one gold.
I mean, if we hold on to a few of them, we could possibly get a better price somewhere. Because I was thinking that maybe the museum might take them, since these books are apparently over 200 years old.
That's a good idea. Alright, I'll keep them. The 1 gold one.
By the way, are you close to your mic? Just out of curiosity.
I'm using my phone because my Discord thing kept
cutting out.
Cutting out, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask Matt if he can quickly hop in.
I'm still using my headphones, Mike, but I don't know how the voice is.
It's changed a little bit.
Yeah. I actually don't know if it's using the headphone mic or my phone mic.
It sounds different, so it's probably using your phone mic. Either way, he looks at you and he goes, "Well, I'll let you decide with regards to those. Otherwise, these 31 books here, I can probably buy these off of you for regular price. They seem to be almost duplicates, if not slightly older versions of our previous books that we have around the place. So I can buy each of for these 31 books for about 25 gold per. That would be 775 gold for them.
For me?
No, for the most of the books.
How many of them were what I had?
There were 31 in total. You don't know how many there were. They just categorized them.
Okay.
So they've just like dumped them all into one little like pot.
Yeah.
We could really just raid that place for so much money.
Potentially.
That is
Do
true.
you think? I look at Malcolm, waiting for his son.
In terms of what else we've got here, we've got 6 of these books, and he holds them up and he says, they contain a little bit of, from skimming through, they contain a little bit of content that even our up-to-date versions don't have, which suggests they're a little bit more of a lost tome. For these I'd be willing to pay above the average, seeing as they're relatively old. The information in them is outdated, other than the few bits that are missing, so I'd be willing to pay 30 GP. But the next ones, he puts his hand on a book of 3. By the way, Infernal, I'm just doing a quick sound check.
Okay.
So if you want to speak.
Hello. I am Infernal. I am playing Bhold.
You're playing Bhold.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3.
Yep. So these 3 books here, these seem to contain information that we haven't had before. These are old books. We haven't seen these kind of books before. So we're willing to pay 50 gold pieces for these 3. And then there's this one, and he places his hands on top of it, and he goes, this one is potentially a very dangerous tome. As a result, we are going to ask that you leave this in our care. We will not say anything of this, and we will purchase the other books as a fair price, as we have done. However, this one we will not be able to buy from you, but we
which one was it?
take from you. He puts his hand on top of one of the tomes, and he just goes, this one I cannot allow. If you wish to know more, I'm okay with telling you a little bit about it, but otherwise, it might be better that you don't know about this.
I'm actually curious about the book.
Yeah, what is... I appreciate that you may not be able to tell us everything, but what is the subject matter of this book?
The subject matter of the book is particularly dangerous. It speaks of being able to control a limitless amount of undead. From what we understand, from what we read from this general book, is that it speaks of how to both create shambling undead, that usually when a novice necromancer summons them, they will last for about 7 weeks or so, after which they will collapse on their own unless they are maintained possession or maintained on their own right, using the individual's casting magic. This one speaks of a way to create undead and store them, and then, with one single command, control all of them at once for a short period of time. This magic could be devastating in the wrong hands, and we wish to seal this away. We would probably be taking this to the Savras temple, and from there we would handle things from there. Also, Infernal, quick sound check, quick sound check with Infernal.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. 4 stars.
Yep. Okay.
That sounds more...
Yes, I agree that it could definitely be devastating in the right hands, in the wrong hands, but I can't really think what good it could do, even in the right ones.
That is why we would seal it away.
Perhaps the thing ought simply to be destroyed.
You can be my guest to attempt to destroy it. If there's anything we've learnt over the past, that trying to destroy books of this caliber are dangerous. Doing so could have immediate backlash.
I wouldn't
I'll
do it.
yield to your expertise then.
What was that, Simon?
Question: are we in the
I said
Overcity
I'll
or the
yield to your
Undercity?
expertise.
I believe we're in the Overcity because that's...
Yeah, you're in the Overcity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
I'm
well.
so tempted to do a Gimli with like the one ring right here.
Very well then. If you have a place to seal it away safely, then by all means.
The book breaks naturally and you just go straight through the desk. You're paying for that.
Yeah, it's like it was
I
a
don't
just a
actually
joke
do
book or
that.
something.
Okay. Alright, Infernal, another check, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Hold on, I'll just go back.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, is it okay now, or?
I'll just go back. It's probably gonna be okay.
Oh, okay. In which case I have to turn you back down again. Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, now I need to double check him again, just because he's changed again. Okay. Sorry
No,
about
I
this
think
stream.
it's fine.
There's
It's fine.
internet issues and stuff. No, sound-wise, I meant.
Yeah, but it should be fine. Nothing probably changed.
No, but I had to turn the volume up on my end for you, so I got to turn it back down
Ah,
again.
okay.
So hopefully that should be okay. I've put you back to your old percentage, so you should be okay there now. Alright, cool. Thank you, Matt. So, yes, we'll send it to the Chapel of All-Seeing, send it to deal for Savras to deal with. Her clerics will be able to deal with it appropriately, potentially attempt to destroy it, but otherwise it'll be sealed. Those trained in religion, actually no, those specifically aligned to a religion can do a religion check here, so that would be Sasha and Queglod.
Mm-hmm.
Bad roll. Ah, sweet.
Okay, 15 and 18. So,
And that is a 15 with a plus. Where's my religion check? 16. Oh yeah.
you both
Right,
know
mine's an
that
18 total.
you both know that Savras is the goddess of divination and fate.
I mean, fair.
She in herself does not align herself with anybody. However, she does like to either withhold information, keep it, destroy it, or will otherwise try and do something with it. But she's generally good at sealing versus anti-divination magics.
She's the goddess of censorship laws.
Effectively, yeah.
Oh no, our greatest enemy.
Yep. So, we'll be taking this book off of your hands, and from there we'll pass it on and deal with that. If you do find more books, it's unfortunate to say, but I don't think I'll be able to purchase any more of these. They're relatively expensive as is, but we're willing to pay for them. If you did want to store them, we'd be willing to accept donations. But we'll see what we can do with these tomes. Otherwise, be careful.
Are we gonna give him the tome?
The dangerous
I mean,
one.
I say you keep.
I
the
say
book.
yes. Yeah, you keep the pawn. We'll give him the Necronomicon.
Yeah. I give the point, and then we sell the normal books.
Is there anything that he can do to
Yeah, he
stop us
can't-
from taking the Necronomicon?
You don't know. You can try.
Don't.
I mean, I don't think they
we're
can
the ones
stop
that
us. I
brought
don't
it.
think we should try. I think it's better off in their hands.
I
If we
mean,
can't destroy it, it needs to be
if I learned anything from my other campaign, it's probably not a good idea.
I was thinking it might also have more clues to, or maybe easier clues to getting this ring off my hand.
Possibly. The recommendation we had was to try like a remove curse spell. We have, how long do we have? I know I wrote this down.
I believe it was.
I want to say
Was it-
3 months. You have years until he becomes a fully fledged, like, unlife creature.
Yeah,
but the effects will
we
start
wanna get
coming
it-
in
yeah.
a couple of weeks, and then from there they'll get progressively worse.
Yeah, I think Well, Sasha would be able to cast Remove Curse soon.
Nah, not that soon. Like,
What
we-
level is Remove Curse?
Third.
Third.
like yeah, next level I
Not
can do
soon,
it,
but you know,
yeah,
not
Yeah, 'cause you
miles
don't know when
away.
you'll be
not
leveling up
years and
next.
years
So
down the line, no.
But
Yeah, we got no idea when that's
yeah, we can always look around for clerics around the town. We've got a bit of spare gold now.
spare
Well,
gold.
that
You got
might be able to deal with it.
1,245 with that.
Whoa! I'm sure we can afford a cleric for that. Or if not, I'm sure the adventurers League can help out if we help them.
You can choose what you want to do with that gold. Put it in the party fund. Split it among yourselves. I don't care. You got 1,245.
Yeah, so
Write the number
how
down.
are we doing that?
1,245.
Yep, 1,245 gold pieces from that. He hands it to you in 120 platinum pieces, and then 45 gold pieces.
How are we splitting this?
So it's 120
I mean,
platinum pieces. and 45
I was
gold.
thinking all into the bag of holding.
Party fund. That makes the most sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
So make sure you're adding that on right when it comes to it. It's 120 platinum pieces and 45 gold pieces.
Alright, one sec. Holding 125 platinum.
120 platinum, sorry,
120.
and then 45 GP.
45 gold would be.
I'll let you figure that out. Thank you very much. If there's anything else you needed, we can help with that. I'd say due to this large amount that you've given us and we've bought off of you, I would say if you needed books in the future, you are welcome. Just come and speak to me. You know my name. I'm Headmaster Fiji. Just request my presence, and I'll speak to you. What can I call you? Just so I know who you are.
We are the Seekers, right? That's right. Yes. Seekers.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Odd group. If you.
The Seekers. Good to know. Well, pleasure doing business. Hopefully these will prove useful to us and to the general public if they can be put out there. And we bid you a good day.
Boy.
Yes, thank you. You've been quite helpful. Keep an eye. Make sure you get that tome somewhere safe.
We will. Don't worry.
Get stolen in a matter of hours. I could see that happening.
Okay. So, what is your
Raise
next
a
plan
good
of action?
point.
We're going to the.
What were you going to say, Simon?
Sorry, just that that's not actually a bad point about the book being stolen.
Yeah, that's why I was considering taking it back.
It's fine. Sometime over the week, I'll drop in and see how that's gone. If anything happens, we can get on it.
Okay.
For the most part, no one knows that we have it, except for them. So I trust them to be able to take care of it safely.
Okay, so we're heading to the guild now? I
Okay.
assume?
Unless anybody else says anything else, you guys are heading to the Shattered Sword next.
Oh,
Yay.
that's a shattered sword. I thought it was like a shattered arrow or something.
As
Nope,
you...
swords, because that makes less sense.
At some point, I would like to go talk to Reagan. So.
I mean, I want to go to Rohal. We can go on a joint buddy trip. Is Reagan with Rohal?
Regan is the High Templar.
High Templar.
Right, he's on the other side of the city, on the upper
He's
city,
above
'cause he's-
ground. No.
He pretends he's not a below ground.
If you're going to the Shattered Sword, he'll literally be due west of you like 4 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
So you can go see him at some point. All right, so.
Cool, let's do that.
You head to the Shattered Sword. You begin to make your way there. You go through the regular areas, and you eventually come to the outside of the Shattered Sword. What looks to be a what I can only describe as an old Norse longhouse almost. It's a relatively large building in a way. It's got a it goes a straight side and then it curves up to a point at the top. It's got a lovely tiled roof. It's got what looks to be the skull of what you recognize, Bhold, as a Behir. It's a very large skull compared to yours. And the skull is mantled above the doorway, and it looks to have a few. It has a sign hanging above it which says the Shattered Sword, and it's got the picture or the depiction of a broken sword with several small pieces surrounding it.
This is outside, right?
This is outside of it, yes, that you can see.
Right, follow me. Sasha steps in.
Okay. As you head in, you are greeted by the warm smell of cooked meats and sweaty adventurers. It is a large, simple oak-panelled room. There are a variety of cornered-off areas in what look to be kind of like booths almost, with simple archways that lead into these different sections, and each one seems to have their own little style. Some have simple chairs and tables, some have workstations and goods and supplies that are on counters. Kind of similar to that, like an indoor market almost. You can see that there are others with what look to be like luxurious counters and seating areas. Most of these areas seem to have the name of a place, almost like the owner of it. You can see areas that have the names of whatever it might be for selling, or particular areas that are listed with a list of names or a group, and you believe this is like areas for those particular groups or something similar. You can also see in some of these particular areas, ones that are more designated to adventurers seemingly, or groups, are trophies of different animals and beasts. One has what looks to be a young dragon head mounted on the edge of the wall. You can see others with what looks to be a series of small eyes in like jars that are all lined up on a shelf. The eyes in particular still swivel and point and spin around with what looks to be a cross-like slit through it, where if you had like the vertical slit of like a reptile, and then you put another one on the horizontal, that kind of thing.
Question: this dragon head, is it an evil dragon or is it a good dragon?
It is that of a green dragon.
Well, an evil dragon. I'd be still shame to kill such a noble creature. Unless it was a red dragon, those motherfucking. What?
As you.
There's bigger Behirs? I didn't know there were bigger Behirs than the one I killed.
No, there's always a bigger Behir.
As you begin to head in a little further, you see ahead of you what seems to be a oaken work table with a singular bounty board on the right side of it. Behind the desk you see a gnome individual with a set of spectacles on and a large book or ledger in front of her. She wears what looks to be a long blue overcoat, simple shirt underneath. She has hazelnut hair that's tied back behind her head into a simple bun. Beside her is a large board with what looks to be lots more bounties on it behind the desk. In the left corner of the room, you can see on a stage is a small chair, which currently sat on top of it is a orange skinned Slytherian. He is currently sat there. He has a lute in hand, and he's slowly plucking away at the strings, playing a small melody. There are some individuals currently sat on couches and in general chairs around rough tables, either enjoying a drink, a tale, or eating. The Slitharian himself wears what looks to be a bright red scarf, a simple yet fancy black tunic, and some billowing pantaloons. He has 2 metal ring loops that dangle from his curved horns that come out from the back of his head and curve down to his ears. And he's just there playing, and he watches you all come in. He gives you a nod to you, Sasha, and continues playing. A few individuals turn ahead and look before going back to their business. Looking around the room, you see a variety of different individuals and a lot of different races. So,
any tieflings?
What kind of races?
Any tieflings on display? Yes. You see what looks to be sat on a chair next to it, a female yellow tiefling. She's currently sat there. She has pushed aside horns that go across the front of her forehead and then back, and then kind of curve backwards into behind her ears almost. She's wearing a orange robe with what looks to be a red or green trim, or red and green twine trim to it, and she has ear-length blonde hair. She's got a relatively short, thin tail with what looks to be a hook on the end, just its natural formation. And she sits there, and she's currently reading through a book of some kind, sat next to the desk, just thumbing through.
Interesting.
What would you like to do?
I was wondering what we're here for.
Oh, you came here because Sasha wanted to come here so that she could tell you and or show you a few things.
So what is it, please, Sasha?
Well, it's an adventurers guild, I believe. Give me a brief moment. I've got some business to sort out, and hopefully it'll bring out someone who can tell you a bit more than I can. I go up to the bartender. Do I recognize this bartender from the last time I was here?
Oh yeah, it's still the same one.
Did I ever catch a name? Because I know Tuzo is the.
Hello, can you hear me? Good.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you now.
I know that Tuzo is the bard, but I don't know if I ever got a name for this one.
No, doesn't seem like it. Or if you didn't get a name for her, then no, you didn't.
Right. Hello again.
Ah, hello there. It's good to see that you've returned, and you've brought the rest of you with you. Excellent. I assume you'll be wanting to speak to the...
Orgalo, yes.
Yes. Excellent. If you could go and get them, please.
And nods over to a female drow individual. She sits there. She's got a little bit of a spiked tooth on her right side with a grin. She has what looks to be a large great axe to her side, and she just sits there in chainmail, just staring at you all. And as she's told this, she lets go of her great axe, stands up, and you now see that as she stands up, underneath her neck there are plenty of red marks, kind of like war paint almost.
Sorry, terribly rude of me. I didn't catch your name last time I was here.
My name's Silva.
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
That is spelled S-I-L-V-A.
Silva.
Silva.
Yep. The drow goes up the flight of stairs on the right and knocks on the door. There's a little bit of murmuring from inside before she walks back down, just takes her seat, and just grabs hold of her battle axe again, leaning on it, staring straight at you, Elsyan.
Kinky.
In a very precarious manner, or mistrusting manner, I should say.
What?
Oh yeah, I found an elf racist, my kind of person.
This was the drow, right?
Yes.
Drow.
Oh, that makes sense.
So there's bound to be tension there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Don't worry. Elsyan, as you know, is a man of the people. He's the best of people. Just the best.
A man of the person, perhaps.
of the singular person by the name of
Now-
Elsyan.
Okay, right. I presume I notice this drow looking at me.
Yeah, she's locked eyes with you, and she is not backing down.
Just double checking the what the drow speak is undercommon, isn't it?
They speak undercommon, and particularly yes.
Excellent.
Oh goodness.
Elsyan is sophisticated with all manner of elves.
Even the elves that are elf-like, but not quite elves.
I mean, they are
as well.
elves.
No. The drow, they're definitely elves, but I'm talking about the Sylvan.
Yeah.
What the are they like the precursor to elves, or like what
Sylvan
was
elves?
going on? Yeah.
Roll a history check. Six. No, you don't know.
No, 5. It was 5 actually.
Still no.
Anyway, I am going to just approach this elf.
So you're gonna walk up to her?
I walk up to her. Yes, and I say hello in undercommon, while of course swishing my cape a bit to make myself look better and more magnificent. Which of course is impossible.
As you walk up, she's leaning on her battle axe, and she raises an eyebrow. She says it in undercommon, and she just looks back and goes, "Well, a high elf speaking undercommon. Huh. That doesn't mean you can pass me. Wait with your friends till the master's here."
Okay, fine.
Just wanted some good conversation.
Yeah.
So I should stop saying. I should not stop doing that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
you should. But thank you for giving me ideas, Harlan. Please, I need them so much.
If you want conversation, go and speak to the Slitherian over there, and gestures towards the to the orange Slitherian currently on the stage, and he finishes plucking. There's a small round of applause from people, and he gives them a slight bow, and he steps down off the stage, and he walks over to Sasha.
Come now, that's hardly polite.
She just gives you a cold stare. While this is happening, Tuzo walks over to you, Sasha. It's good to see you back again.
Yes.
I'm so glad you came back with company. So this must be the rest of your troop, I imagine.
Yes. This here is Malcom, who you might be aware of. He lives in the city, and
I don't think I've seen you out and about, but I mean, if you've been in the city a while, maybe a few of the fellas will know you.
we have Queglod. Honestly, probably the closest thing to a leader we have.
Pleasure to meet you.
It's concerning to me as well.
He gives a bow, and then he puts out his hand.
I shake his hand, I guess. I hope that's good.
Okay, his hand is like palm up.
Oh, palm up. Can I tell what he wants? Because I don't really recognize this gesture.
Oh, if he gonna do what I think he's gonna do, this gonna be fun.
We'll see.
That is inside.
His natural charisma's pretty high, so.
Yeah, so that is 13.
Okay, no. You look at him, you're a little bit concerned, but it seems to be like he wants to take your hand almost.
Okay, I'll reach out and take his hand then.
Okay, as you reach out and you put your hand in his palm, he brings it up to him and he kneels down and gives you a kiss on the palm before releasing you with a mild bow, with a large smile on his face.
Good to see someone still knows their manners.
Hey.
I would like to look at him very angrily.
Make an intimidation check, please. I need to do a crit. Oh, what's this? A wisdom saving throw on his part? Oh no! Never mind. Hold on. I'm gonna. You know. No, I'm not even gonna roll. I don't want him to roll nat 20 for this. This is too fun. You give him a cold hard stare, and he looks at you, And for a moment he's taken aback, and he does like a short bow, almost apologetically.
Okay, but hear me out here. Slavarians are about human height, all right?
Yeah, a little bit shorter.
So, like, I'm just imagining him having to like bend, like
double over. Yeah.
Just even reach.
Yeah, but he's about the same height as you, maybe a little bit less. As you intimidate him and you give him a hard stare, he looks over at you, gives you the small bow, and he looks back at you, Sasha, goes over and he begins to whisper something in your ear. Anybody who would like to try and perceive this? Elsyan, you automatically perceive this unless his stealth check's pretty good. Which it wasn't.
I want to. I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be getting an animus.
Oh no.
Nope.
Okay.
No, that was a 10.
He goes over and he whispers, Elsyan, you notice this just out of just off the edge of your hearing.
One of your friends doesn't seem to like me.
Oh, that's the
I rarely get that kind of stare in here.
Yeah, that's Bhold. He's I don't know what his relation. I'm also whispering this as best I can. He's
I'm
not
whispering this.
I'm whispering this. I don't know what his relationship is, Queglod, but I know they're close.
Do I hear any of this?
Yeah, you hear this. At which point the Slavarian does the A-OK and gives you a wink.
Okay.
And then he just goes back and he looks over and he goes, another Tiefling. Pleasure to meet you. He goes out to shake your hand.
Shake his hand.
He shakes your hand. Give me a strength check.
Oh goodness, another one of these.
Contested strength check.
Don't break my hand.
No.
Nope, I'm fine.
No, you go to shake his hand. It's a good firm handshake from his part. It's a good firm handshake from your part. And he's like, gives you a mild nod. At this point, the door opens up, and he looks over and says, looks like the boss is here. Well, I'll be taking my stand back until you're ready to call me over if you need anything. If you want a tour of the place, seeing as you're probably going to get a little bit more acquainted with this place, then feel free to ask. I know everybody here. Of course I do. And
would you like to join the volleyball team?
No, he hasn't shown up yet. and he heads.
God, what was that from?
No, nobody say anything. It's a good reference. We're saving it. And he heads back. He heads back over to a table and begins to lightly strum to himself. Does a quick waver and someone comes over with a drink of what just looks to be regular water and just in a mug and just passes it to him, and he gives them a mild nod and flicks them a gold coin and proceeds to relax a bit more.
It's actually pure vinegar.
Yep, pure vinegar. And he's just going to exhale all the salt through his nostrils like an iguana. So all of you see this at this point as the door opens up at the top of the staircase. You watch as a male panther fur skin tabaxi walks down, clad in what looks to be just a almost like regular dress wear, but there's like basic pieces of armor to it, so pauldrons, what looks to be a very light chest piece almost. Seems to be a little bit more of a lighter wear, and he walks down and he goes, "So you've returned, Sasha, and I've heard from Rahal that you were interested." Good.
Do I know what a tabaxi is?
Well, regardless, give me a knowledge nature. So, using your nature check.
I got disconnected. Hold on.
Hold on. I'll roll for you and everybody can tell you otherwise.
Alright.
It's a 15. What's your nature?
Oh, come on. Just because it was a 20 and you wanted to...
No, it's a 15.
Fucking with you.
Is that -2 because your intelligence?
My nature? My
Yeah.
nature is -2, yes.
Yeah. You know of tabaxis. They're cat people. Fairly self-explanatory. You can see one before you. But otherwise, you don't know any more about them. It's curious. You've never seen this kind of folk before around here.
Aye, and of course, I'm here for the Ioun Stone.
Yes, of course. Let's see. Who was it who had control of that? Let's see. That would have been Okri. Whisper, did you know how Okri got on? And the yellow tiefling looks up and goes, yes, I believe he did a little bit of experimenting on it. Turns out it is as you say. It has the same enchantment from what he can tell. He attuned to it, he did a little bit of testing, seeing what the range is. It's a new one. We've never seen something like it before. So, for all we know, it could be very powerful, it could have a dangerous side to it, we're not sure. It's unidentifiable, so it's protected against divination. We're not entirely sure how it might react in certain situations. One particular individual within the Shattered Swords took a particular interest in it. Someone who was under our care. Ogalo had to dismiss the situation. Unfortunately,
that sort of interest.
It turns out because it's defended against divination, it's considered offensive to Savris. Keep that in mind. There is a chapel to Savris in this town. Be very careful where you take it. Otherwise, it's an Ioun stone. It has fairly useful properties. We'd be willing to pay about 1,000 gold pieces for this sort of thing. It's not bad. We might be able to find a use for it, and if we can replicate it, we may even sell you one in the future if you're willing.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll hang on to it for the moment and talk to my my party as to what we all want done with it before making any hard decisions. But
as
1,000 gold is 1,000 gold, as they say.
Of course. And she pulls a small bag from behind her. It looks to be kind of a tightly knitted kind of linen bag, and she passes it to you, and you can feel the weight. Your Ioun stone is in there.
Anyway, I believe there was talk of membership in this.
Yes, of course. So, as you know, membership would come with the following: a ability to access all of our suppliers and traders in here if you wish to. There are some particularly useful individuals around. Rolladon, if you don't mind him, he's a little bit of a dangerous individual. He is a goblin, so don't get too offensive towards him. We don't accept racism in here. Goblins are dangerous in some cases, however, he is civilized enough. So he will be your general supply vendor, as if you choose to join the membership. If you are looking for potions or poisons, I'd speak to Zilgale. He's over there around the corner. And if you have any more information, speak to Silva, and then speak to me about this sort of thing. We'll be back in about 4 minutes or so. Be back in a bit. It's not that. It's Infernal isn't back yet, so he's just going to miss out.
Mhm.
So, we are back from the break and from that horrible incident that just took place. So,
Yes.
Porn
So-
stars.
I was trying to be nice, Sam.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're
I
done.
just
Oh, right,
So,
that's why that is.
you are in the, yes, so Ogalo turned around to you and said, well, you know of the jobs that we have here before you, the one of the nest in the south, the mercenary job to transport some goods and some missing individuals to the south. You know of all these.
Yes.
I'm back.
Welcome back. We're back live.
Oh, we are?
Mm-hmm. Because you took too long.
Really? Come on.
Yep.
Alright, so what are we doing?
But yes, so it's up to you what you wish to do. If you wish to take the membership, you're welcome to do so, but otherwise I'm not too fussed.
I mean, I'd certainly like to take it, but I know we will be traveling soon, but I believe we will be coming back as time goes on. If everyone else is all right with it, I'd personally enjoy being part of the group.
I'm sure it could be quite beneficial to us. I believe our plan for now was to use the city as a base of operations.
That works.
Then I scoot over to the mission board.
Yeah, sure. He just told you all the missions were, so...
Alright, do I need to do a perception check for me?
You need to do an intelligence check to see if you can
Oh.
read first.
Oh, shit. Well, do that then.
I thought your intelligence got up to like
It
8.
did, but he still has to see if he can read. Because there are some long words in here, like otherwise, and sighted, and missing, and mercenaries. That's a big word.
No, I know that word. I learned that word
Do
when
you
I went to
both?
do the jobs.
Uh-huh. Okay, make an intelligence check.
And I'm loading it.
Because you don't need to do a perception check to see if you can spot them. Alright, I'll roll your dice for you and then you get to see the result.
Oh, I'm almost done.
It's a
Alright,
3!
you can speak. I don't
No,
know how to read.
that's not a natural one, it's an unnatural one, but still. So, yeah, looking through some of these, they check out. They're what the same. There's one that you can't read, but oh well.
I didn't catch that.
There's one that you can't read, but all the others check out. So, they are what you expected.
Yeah, but what are they?
Oh, what are they?
Yeah.
The ones that he mentioned. The sighted
I was
spider
not here
colony
for
in the
that.
southeast, the reported missing persons in the south, and the mercenaries for hire to travel to another town to deliver cargo.
Which town?
Lock Reef.
Where is that on the map?
Some people know where it is, otherwise I'm going to have you do a history check.
Who knows where what is?
Lock Reef Town.
Right. Oh, is that one of the ones I know about?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's by the edge of the...
Okay, history.
Yep, that's
Lock
a 15.
Reef is here.
Where? Oh,
There.
Hmm.
No, sorry. There's Lock Reef. That's the fort.
So we're going that way anyway. Is there a time limit? Oh,
They're probably going to need to leave soon, but it's a 10-day journey.
Well, we can't take that if it means not being here for the festival.
yeah.
I suppose not. But still, something we can... It's there were some of these may still be available later on.
Indeed. Back in Oaksmith, nobody seemed in a hurry to deal with the spiders.
So what'll it be? Do you want to join? There's no restriction other than we may call upon you at times of need. It's entirely up to you.
I'm fine with it.
I think.
Yes, I'd like to join.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're joining as an entire group, I assume?
Yes, do we
Sure.
join as a group or as individuals?
You would join as a group, provided everybody's okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Malcolm?
Sure.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. Obviously, your group will have a name. I don't believe you mentioned it last time, Sasha.
We're just sticking with the Seekers.
I'm pretty sure we are, but I don't know if we wanna change it. Like,
Does
now
anyone
the
else have a
chance to
better
change it
name
up.
for this?
I
Yeah,
gave
this is
you-
our absolute last chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone has a better name, so
Yeah, and you know, you did kind of tell the
and the
guy
four
you
morons.
just spoke to that you're the Seekers, so...
yeah, but he's like one guy. It's fine.
Yeah, it's one guy. Just leave that
And if
guy.
you come up with a new name and tell this guy here, he goes around, oh, see the Seekers. We don't know who.
I
Who's the
mean,
Seekers?
if we change our name, then if something happens with that book, then we're not responsible.
Exactly.
Point. My vote's for Queglod and the Four Morons.
Okay, let's
My
veto
vote
that.
is for.
Let's
my
scrap
vote-
that one.
My vote is Elsyan and his servants.
Veto that one.
Fair enough.
Should we just go with the Seekers? It's going to be easier.
Yeah, I don't think we can come up with anything else.
Oh, no. Four magic users and a Smash Boy.
No.
That's technically incorrect.
Technically,
but,
it's 3.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
Elsin
Yeah.
uses psionics.
Elsyan that you.
Not magic, bitches.
You're right. For arcane-ish, is that fair?
Even then, no, because it's 1 natural, 2 divine.
Fine. Four weirdos and a hitty fella.
4 weirdos and a normal guy.
Uh-huh.
Of course, the Goliath
Stupid.
is normal.
Mm.
So what'll it be, guys?
The Dawn Marshals. We're Dawn Marshals, aren't we?
I mean,
The Dawn Seekers. That's the one.
Dawn Seekers. Oh.
the Dawn Seekers. Yeah, that actually.
That
works.
sounds
that's correct.
appropriately
That's
cliche and cheesy. I love it.
Okay, the Dawn Seekers it is. The Dawn Seekers. Good to know. It's an old-fashioned name, but it's good. So, seeing as all this, obviously you'll have to find your own way in town with rooms and stuff. This isn't a large enough establishment for that, but we can provide supplies. Feel free to browse these wares and speak to any individuals. Eventually you'll earn one of these small cornered-off lounges if you get to that stage, but until then, enjoy your stay, have a nice day, and feel free to browse the board.
Just asking. Where did you find that big Behir head?
Find it. We slayed it. Or slew it, as the native tongue might say.
Where exactly did you find it?
In the northern mountains. A little bit more on the northern sides of the Skycalm range.
Isn't that the place where those one guys were from?
And where exactly did I get mine?
One, guys. You found yours in the Highlands.
Oh yeah, mine was.
Yours in
the
an entirely different area of the map.
You know, the Dragon Riders.
Cause I slew this and I show him
Oh,
my
you
skull.
mean the Dragon Knights?
Yeah, the Dragon Knights.
Oh, no. They're from all the way up north. They're near the ice cap.
Okay.
I show him my skull on the
Oh, he
Behir
can already see it. It's already on your head.
Okay.
I see that
Is
you've...
this one a baby or something?
Not necessarily a baby, but probably young, or maybe slim in some way. But I wouldn't say it would be a baby. Baby ones are significantly smaller. They're still large
Baldric
creatures, don't get me wrong, but... Yes.
Baldric was a bit of a runt, I'm afraid, Behold.
Baldric? Is that the name? Was that his name?
Yes, he was one of the few mats left over.
I see.
I'll be honest, I don't see a damn thing.
All the same, enjoy your stay.
Thank you very much.
Gives a mild nod and then heads back upstairs.
Okay. Right. I'd like to be off. I want to get a head start on talking to Rohal and starting up my training for whilst we've got some free time. But
Okay, is there anything else anyone would like to do that isn't going to be on their own?
Well, maybe in the next days, maybe not today.
There are some things I'd like to talk to first party members about.
yeah, I also have a couple things I want to say, like but like I want to be on walking away as we do so, because we're like.
Okay, so does anybody have any business in the Shattered Swords?
Well, I was gonna talk to the other tiefling, but
Then go ahead. That's fine. It's
Yeah,
literally
you can
just
wait.
a do your thing now, then we'll do the rest afterwards.
Okay, then I'm gonna walk up to her.
Okay. You walk up, she doesn't seem to pay much mind.
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
Yes, I'm sat on it.
The one that's next to her.
She
Or is
doesn't
there one next?
No, she's at the help desk.
Oh, she's at the help desk. Oh, I thought she was just sitting.
You fucked up.
You done fucked up?
To
No.
just turn around, walk away, and walk back again, pretending nothing happened.
Reset scenario? Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Wait, hold on. Did the scenario reset or something?
Oh.
Okay, so I screwed
In your
up.
head, you just went I saw that going differently in my mind, and that's just what happened.
I got distracted.
Yep.
I blame them. Pointing party.
I see. Can I help you with anything?
I just was curious. It's not something you see every day of seeing another tiefling in this city.
That is true. There aren't that many of us, but there are a few here.
The only ones I've really seen are the two that I came to this land with.
There are more. They don't often show themselves, but they're around the place.
I don't exactly blame them for not showing themselves. Do you know where I could possibly find more?
If you're looking for any, usually the taverns on the northern side of town are a little bit more occupied in that way. Other than that, there are a few adventurers, but that's about it. That's all I know. I don't really mind all that much.
Alright, thank you. I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. You turn tail and leave. She goes back to her book. Anybody else want to do anything?
Nope.
Not really.
No, I think we're done here.
Okay.
I think I'll be done from now.
Okay. So, you'll proceed to head out. You're now back onto the street. It's not all that busy. Still, there's still a few people about, but it's nothing major. There's a light wind in the air still. And you're now heading through the crowd. Where is your prime destination? Back to the tavern?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm definitely heading for Rohal personally, but
So yeah, the tavern.
yeah. But as we're talking, right. Well, like I said, I'm going to be taking a few days off to learn jewel smithing, jewelry stuff. Anyone else who I might need your help in that regard, Malcolm, ensuring that I have the time to just to increase the rapidity of my learning. If it would be possible for you to bring me meals in my room, or make sure I stay fed, if that's all right to ask.
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Thank you. In the meantime, if there's any plans anyone has, I feel free to think through what you want, and I'll be happy to help as best I can. But I will be, for the next 3 days or so, I will be out of commission, as it were.
Let's go.
That's reasonable.
To the hot springs.
The what?
Hot springs.
Roll me a survival check. Hold. Okay. You're not entirely sure where hot springs might be if they are in this town, but there might be some. You haven't seen any on your travels yet.
Hot springs.
Roll me a survival check. If you want to know, for those who've been in here long enough, which would be just you, Malcolm.
Is that together? 10.
10? You're not sure where it is, but you know that there is one around town. People have spoken of it before, you've heard whispers of it, but you've never gone to it.
Oh, they went that one.
Are you guys up for it?
Guys?
I mean, if there are hot springs, that would be I can't in the next couple of days, but anytime after that, I don't suppose I'd be against it.
You could. You can
Why
read
not?
and be in the hot springs at the same
Can
time.
read and be in the hot springs.
Why not? What's good? I haven't had a bath in a while.
Yes, it'd be a good day out. If you're working a lot on theory, Sasha, perhaps having someone to test you could be helpful.
After those days, I should be competent by then. I'm
Very
using an artifact to learn.
I see. Well,
Yes.
all the same.
I'd also be grateful if you could spread the word of me taking commissions for a few select pieces during the Harvest Festival, before the Harvest Festival. As I will then, after that point, I'll be trying to make a few items. I can't get. You may want to push the word out. I'll also be asking Rohal if she wishes to put the word out. But well, if you see anyone who might be interested, keep me in mind.
I will do. But it
of course,
surely can't be. Sorry, go.
Of course, I'll be making your work. I'll be making your items, Malcolm, first.
If it is jewellery you're making, I should note that I don't know if I've told you this, but I should note that I've been working on enchanting recently.
Oh,
perhaps once you're a little more proficient, the two of us could work together. There are a few magic items we could create that would be beneficial to most members of the party, I think.
I agree we could. Once you yourself become proficient, we should be able we should be able to make something quite impressive. Or I should hope so.
Okay.
I know that this will hopefully give me ability to place vessels such as the fire orb into weaponry or staffs to increase potency.
That'd be useful. Could you potentially stabilize it as well?
With the correct materials, I wouldn't believe it to be too difficult.
That's good. 'Cause it was causing problems when people were casting fire spells.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yes. Curing that could make it a lot more useful.
Okay.
Well then, we shall be sure to...
But returning to Behold's suggestion for a moment, surely it can't be healthy to spend every hour of the day in your room studying.
It is not healthy, but it must be done. I won't be spending every hour of the day. I will just be doing as much as I can. I can still come out to eat and move around, but I will be trying to read as much as possible during those times as well.
Come on, Sasha, take some time off.
It's just that I can't really do that in a sauna or hot spring.
Why
I suppose I could dip my toes in.
Well, if you do find an hour or two to take off, I'm sure we'd be glad to have you there.
If I can continue reading, I will definitely do so. If not, I shall see if I can't, or I shall see if on the final day I can't get all of my studying done early.
Very well. Well, we shan't make concrete plans then, but we'll keep you in mind.
Right. As it stands, after you.
Was there anything else anyone else wanted to get done?
I would like to get to Reagan to give this mission back to him because I don't believe we'll be able to do it since we're taking time off without doing anything.
Okay. We'll say, for the sake of brevity, you head in on your journey. The party waits outside. You head in, speak to Regan. He says it's unfortunate, but the opportunity will be open for probably the next few weeks. If you're still interested, the pay will still be there, and but the sooner the better. The pay will obviously go down as time goes along, or until he has sufficient permission from Aleuir to borrow his forces.
I also wanted to talk to him about the other thing that we were talking about.
Which was?
The thing that involved Bhold and the barracks.
Okay, go ahead then.
Reagan.
Yes?
I had a question for you.
Go on.
I was wondering if it was possible for me to be able to go to the was it the barracks or the stables? Where the
stables?
The stables. If I could go to the stables, I heard I've been here for over a year, and I heard that you guys have issues with rogue wyverns in the stables.
On rare occasions, maybe about 2 a year at maximum. On the very rare occasion of that. Type.
My bad.
Would you happen to know if there are any now?
No, there wouldn't be any. We do sometimes take a few. We take the rogue ones, we store them up, we feed them and so on until the following year, and we use them in the festival. But other than that, the rogue wyverns are a very rare case. In regards to entering the stables, you're probably going to need a military rank to enter there. I can't just go giving it out to random adventurers, unfortunately. Even though I am the highest of individuals in this town, I or the highest authority, I wouldn't be able to just hand that out. My lower downs would then condemn me, and I may potentially be put out of place.
That's unfortunate. I was hoping I could get some information in there.
If you want to join the military, you're more than welcome.
No, I just wanted to talk to the wyverns.
I see. If you want to talk to wild wyverns, they usually live fairly near the Iron Top Mountains, above ground, usually to a little bit more of the northeastern sides. Usually above Gadra's Crossroad.
Well, the whole point of me talking to the wyverns here was to get more information to help me possibly be able to tame my own if I ran across one.
I see. That would be the only purpose, I'm afraid. Or the only way. The wild wyverns would be the best way to do it. Otherwise, I don't have any other ways of doing that. Otherwise, it requires a military rank and training for that sort of thing.
That's unfortunate. Oh, I guess I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. Okay, so. So, you all begin to head around. What would you like to do in trying to search for the bathhouse? Anyone?
Yeah, we need to. So we don't know where it is yet, do we?
No, you have no idea.
Have we seen any like guidebooks around, like for tourists? Or do we know where something like that might be?
We could also just find a guard to ask.
You could.
We could do. If there are any guards nearby, then we could flag one down.
Are there any guards nearby, Chris?
Yeah, there's plenty. There are plenty who are either on duty or wandering around in patrols. It's fairly easy to find for you.
Cool.
I could talk to one of the on-duty guards.
Okay.
Sure. Make sure it's one that doesn't look too busy, because we don't want to, get away.
There's one on-duty guard who seems to just be standing around near a set of shops, and he just seems to be standing there and looking about. And you walk up to him, and he goes, "All right."
Excuse me, can you tell me where the bathhouses are around here?
The Sovereign Soaps. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, could I get directions, please?
Yes, of course. The Sovereign Soaps are... And he points off to more of a southeasterly direction, southwesterly direction, sorry. They are down there. If you would like to take... if you follow the main road heading downwards near to the southern exit, and then you take a right once you hit should be about the fourth right from here. Head down there. It's the large white porcelain stone, white brick building, with a lovely blue roof.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
We can go over to the party and tell them the directions.
Okay. You proceed to head down those directions, heading down the main road, turning down the fourth direction on the right, before proceeding to make your way towards the bathhouses. You see what looks to be a large circular building made from what looks to be white brick and white ceramic tiles, forming a archway with a lovely light sky blue tiling for the roof. There's this single archway with the porcelain tiles all the way along the outside of it. On the inside, it looks to be a very clean place with a nice smooth stone floor, the tiles getting closer towards the corridors and so on. There are statues, there are flowers, there are all manner of things, and standing behind the desk is a very noble looking elf individual.
This is just up my alley. Right, I'm gonna approach this elf individual.
Okay. So you walk up to her?
Yeah, I walk up to her.
She is, from the looks of it, she is a high elf. She has pale skin, a little bit yellowish in colour. She has blonde hair that travels down the back of her head into a ponytail at the base of the neck, which continues on going. She has a sweet smile to her face and seems very pleasant.
But does she look common, though?
No. She looks like someone who is very well dressed, and that this kind of position either suggests a potential high position within the establishment.
Oh. Brilliant.
Welcome to the Sovereign Soap. How may I help you, fine ladies and gentlemen, today?
Oh.
You're leading the party.
Yeah, I know. The things are popping up on my computer, that's all. What was it? Yes. Oh, well, we were thinking. We would like to spend some time in the baths. Just have a soak, if we may.
Would you like private housing or public housing?
Alright, I look at the others and just...
Private,
private.
The private housing is more expensive. It would be 2 gold per people, unless you wished for a group housing for your individual group. It will cost less, but you'll be sharing with each other in some ways.
I'm fine with that.
Hmm.
Queglod, do you have any issues with it?
No, not at all.
We'll go for the group housing then, I believe.
I can get out my bathing chainmail.
Which...
I'm gonna have Felipe wait outside.
Oh,
He has nearly forgot that. No, I'm not bringing a bird into the bathhouses.
And
He's gonna...
and Malcolm, you keeping the spider and the pseudo dragon on you?
Yes.
Okay.
He's gonna perch like outside the door.
Or not,
He
he's gonna
he
be
finds
peeking
a-
on other people.
He finds
outside the door of the establishment, not outside the
he
bath.
finds a lampstand to sit on. He sits there and he watches outside. You'll be within range at all times with the position of your housing, so you should be able to speak to him. And even if he wasn't, he would fly over the establishments just to make sure that he wasn't going to be in your way, or so he wouldn't be disconnected at any time. Just so you know where he is.
Nice.
Well, if you would like group housing for all of you, that would be 5 gold pieces for everybody.
Group fund?
Yeah, group fund.
Yeah.
I think group fund, yes.
Okay, that's 5 gold.
That's what it's for.
That's 5 gold. That's 5 gold pieces from the group fund.
Excellent.
Yay.
And she pulls out a key. It's got the room number on it, 9, and she goes,
You're welcome to stay as long as you wish. I will say we do close in 6 hours, so just be aware of that. But otherwise, you are welcome to stay as long as you wish. If you wish for extra of anything, say you want more soap, you want incense, you want food, we can provide, but it will cost a little bit more. Feel free to contact any of our servants to help you out if you need anything. Otherwise, feel free to go on ahead.
Well, let's go.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
As you you walk down the left hallway and begin to head down, you can see that there's room numbers lining each wall, and you go through and you eventually find your one. You unlock it. There's a glass doorknob which you turn and open up, and you go inside and you see a lovely 2-bit room where there is a section off to your left with a slightly shallower bathhouse area. Which links into a much deeper bathing area. There is the tiling on the floor. There's a smooth way in, and there's some steps you can climb down. There seem to be some basic baskets and lockers where you can put your clothes. There are some warm towels put in place over to one side, and there is a small complimentary basket of soap as well. And the bathing house is full of what looks to be warm water. So,
I grab a towel, pull down my loincloth, and jump in cannonball.
okay.
What sort of bath?
Make an athletics check,
clothing
please.
is this?
What kind of what?
Is this more like Korean style or?
I think Rome.
Okay.
Rome style. 2.
Plus 8, so that's 10.
8. Plus 8, so that's 10. You.
Fucking hell.
Wait, how is that plus 8?
My athletics is 8.
Oh yeah, because you have the plus 1 because you doubled up. Yeah. So you go forward. You go with a huh. You jump into the air, and you land, and you sploosh into the water. There's a noticeable ripple about the water. A little bit overflows, traveling onto the tiles before swirling into a small drain nearby.
But behold, it's a bath, not a pool.
It is beautifully warm
It
water.
reminds me of home.
It's lovely warm water. You immediately feel your body kind of relaxing and your muscles de-stressing. You feel you can smell the water. It's lovely and has a mild scent to it, suggesting they've put something in the water to aid with relaxation and calming. And you feel very relaxed here. The rest of you, you've just seen the Goliath strip off, grab a towel, and cannonball in.
Wait, is the towel in there as well?
No, he's like holding it over his head, like doing the...
Okay.
Well, I'm not that stupid, come on.
Wow.
So, what are the rest of you doing? You're all standing there gawking at this Goliath who's just jumped into the water and is now like, his head is just above the surface.
Come on,
Appreciating the sight of a naked Goliath.
As per usual, whenever a situation comes up, roll for penis size.
Alright.
Is that what we're rolling
It's
for?
unnecessary, he's a Goliath, so it's pretty big.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if it's a 1 though, it's like...
No,
it's still...
we're not going to do that because that would be shaming the Goliath. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. 9.
I had my strength modifier, right?
No.
That's how it works.
No, it doesn't.
Sure, it's Constitution.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Ah, God.
Right. Sasha.
Hey, Sasha, do you want to roll for
strips down
yours?
Yeah.
Sasha strips down as far as any dwarf will go, which is taking off shoes and socks.
Oh.
And dipping them in. That's the equivalent.
Okay. By the way, Sasha stinks of sweat and everything because she's just gone through a battle and she's been wearing chainmail and she's got the padding underneath. She
Such a
stinks.
disgusting creature.
Yeah.
The Goliath is more hygienic than you. No offense, Bhold.
What?
Don't worry about it.
And the rest of you?
Yeah.
Elsyan's also gonna remove his clothes, neatly fold up his clothes, and then
question
also get into the water.
Can I have a chainmail swimsuit?
No, you can make one. If you want, I will say that you will have disadvantage to swimming if you do.
Right. Yeah. So Sasha is like slipping into the water after removing most clothing other than.
I'm gonna say, for the sake of this, there are changing areas where you can get undressed because taking off chainmail takes about half an hour.
Yeah.
So you're taking bits off slowly but surely.
Slipping through with a number of towels around me.
Yeah.
All of them are filthy by this point.
That was just when you picked them up.
Pretty much. I've been working in forges for days on end without showering or washing of any sort. So at this point, yes.
Even when you get in the water eventually, I'm going to assume you're the last one in because you're getting heavy armor off. even when you get in the water eventually, you get in, and the soot seems to break off from your body, but it doesn't seem to float or sink. It seems to just dissipate in the water.
Oh, that good clean water.
By the anything anyone holds holy.
Yeah,
Okay,
quickly.
is this?
Queglod, what were you
Oh,
doing?
no, Archie.
So quickly, just gonna strip off like folder clothes in like a corner and just sort of recline in like the shallow bit.
In the basket area. Okay,
don't-
you get into the shallow bits as to not.
Yeah, I don't
You
want
know.
to drown.
You
Okay,
don't want to drown. Yeah.
I'm only 3 feet tall.
To be quite
Yeah.
fair, your neck high is my knee height. So
Is this
Uh,
over- how tall is Elsyan?
I'm not overly tall, actually.
You're
Say
like
that?
5 something, aren't you?
I don't know. So yeah, you get into the small area. You feel it working on your onto your wrinkled skin. It soothes it out. You feel it's very softening and so on, and you feel very comforted by this. And it's very relaxing lying here in the bath. Malcom? Elsyan?
Malcom?
I said I got into the water,
Oh yeah, no, you already did. Yeah.
and I'm 6 foot, by the way. Just
Malcom?
No,
Cool.
I'm just gonna go and get in the water.
Okay.
Cool.
I assume you take off your things.
Yeah.
You get into the water as well. It's a lovely, relaxing feeling. You feel your body, you feel it going soothed. The last time you had a proper bathe like this, was probably back when you were at home, and this reminds you of something similar. The style of the area is different, but it's nice nonetheless. And you're all sat there in the bath.
Well, this is well. Question: the disappearing mark is that like a testament to whatever the fuck was on me, or is that just a property of the
No,
water?
it seems like it's something in the water.
Right.
They've added something so that regardless of who gets in it, however filthy they are, it's not going to muddy or sully the water.
so they put in chlorine.
Effectively, but it's highly advanced magical chlorine.
If you need something to work better, so put magical in front of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you
Right.
do anything?
Well, this is lovely, isn't it?
Yes,
I can't
quite
recall.
nice.
I can't recall how long it's been since we've all been together as a group, without having to fight
Kill
it.
something.
I mean, I feel like we've sort of missed a lot about each other, especially with the weird sort of that sort of memory skip thing.
God, that seems ages ago.
Yes, but in reality, it's only been a couple weeks at most.
Well, we have made some progress on that front.
Mm.
And I'm hopeful that more will be revealed the better around.
When are we gonna continue the Dawn Marshal stuff? We still need to find out about them.
Oh, I believe I did some research on that. I might have found a few places where they could have made forts, but it's haven't been unconfirmed. Chris, I've got a list of names here, but I can't remember which ones are. I know that a couple of them are places of interest for me specifically, and a couple of places are for this.
Well, that's your note taking, because I don't know what they are.
Right. I believe Bridgestone Fort, Skycalm Keep, Blaze Oak Bridge, Quasir Castle, and potentially the Dark Reap Ruins are all places that could potentially be Dawn Marshal forts, like Fort Verdant, potentially with more guardians and weaponry there.
Ooh. So where are these places exactly?
Well, Chris, I don't know where on the map they are. I don't. I just don't.
So you didn't note it down, huh?
I noted. You. How am I supposed to note down where they are on a map?
I drew
I don't
them.
have a version of the map.
I drew them on there, and you could have written like bottom left, top right, here. Here would not have been useful, but
Yeah.
all right.
Can I just get like Can I get like an image of the map with just some dots on it, please?
Yes, that's fine.
Right. They're in those places.
Let's see. Sky Calm Keep was in this general area.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Blaze Oak Bridge is here. The Sky Calm Keep is here. Oh no, not Sky Calm Keep. The Bridgestone Fort. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The Quasir Castle, you didn't find out where that one was.
Yeah.
It wasn't listed.
Yes.
And then Fort
Yes,
Verdant
that's true.
is here.
Yes. And I think the Dark Reef Ruins was actually the one by it was a different thing.
Dark Reap Ruins was here.
Yes.
In the ravine. Who just
I don't quite remember exactly what was going on with that one.
Okay.
Did you find out which one's which?
No, it's high. I don't believe that I haven't found any common factors that could suggest which
Sorry,
ones
could
they
you
were.
read out those names again quickly? Or send them to me.
Yes, of course. There is
Bridgestone
the Bridgestone Fort.
Sky Calm Keep, Blaze
okay,
Oak Bridge, Quasir Castle, Fort Verdant. Quasir Castle is Quasir.
Oh right, the Dark Reap Ruins was like in Uramance Ravine, and it was like a dwarven stronghold, I think.
Yes, it was the old dwarven stronghold.
Yes, I think that's another place I want to go, but I don't know. But that isn't related to this.
Keep, Fort, Bridge, Castle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to note down the locations, you can do this.
No, Quasir Castle isn't on there, but that's
it was Fort again. Sorry.
Oh wait.
Yeah, it was the second fort.
Okay, so that's Fort. That's Bridge here, right?
Fort, Bridge, Fort Verdant, Quasir Castle, and then
No, not Quasir Castle. We don't know where Quasir Castle is.
Oh no, not Quasir Castle. That one was the Dark Reap Ruins. Yes.
Bridge.
Yeah, Dark Reap Ruins is on the is on my second page, which is why I couldn't see it.
A different thing.
Yes.
So it's just Sky Calm Keep, Blaze Oak Bridge, Bridgestone Fort, and Fort Verdant that we know to be.
Yes.
So
Quasir Castle is a location.
Exists, I just don't know where it is, but we can find more information on where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. How do I take a print screen? How do I take like a screen cap?
F11.
I can send it to you if I load then. Hold on.
F11 is usually how you do it. I'm just gonna.
It's when I can just take a print screen.
Someone's F12 for print screen.
I don't know. Mine's a different button, but anyway. So, go ahead. We'll let Infernal take a shot of that once it's time.
Wait, maybe. No, that's a different.
I'll post it in secret, so.
Function print screen. Share print screen. Print screen. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, cool.
Go ahead.
Second.
Right. Now, I know there are more, but those were the ones I was able to find. Quasir Castle, I'm uncertain as to where it actually lies, but it does exist somewhere. It's just a matter of finding out where that is. I can refer you to the texts I was reading. Mainly history books.
about the Dawn Marshal best I could find them in the last Great War. I also looked up some of the weapons that are available and that the Dawn Marshals purportedly used, and they included ones such as the ones I'm particularly interested in are a war hammer and a shield.
Can you repeat that?
A war hammer and I also did some research on a number of weapons that they had that were used by the Dawn Marshal. The ones I am personally interested in are, of course, the Warhammer and Shield, but there was also a book, a lantern, numerous I believe like 2 types of sword at least, right, Chris?
There was 1 sword.
1 sword.
There were 2 daggers.
Daggers, that was.
Yes, that sounds right.
2 daggers. An axe. And the others are escaping me right now. Where did I put that?
Anybody else wants to say anything, you're welcome to do so.
It sounds
So-
like you and I may have come across the same book then, Sasha.
Oh, do tell. What did you find out?
Mostly the same as you, most of what the weapons were. I don't know that I could recite all of them to memory, but yes, I recall there being a lantern. That one was of interest to me. A staff as well,
Yes.
no doubt. That may be the one we
Yeah.
found already.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes.
But there could always be others. Yes, I was someone who knew where Lockreef was. Damn it, I didn't note this down because this was when I was using it when I did it in a document that got deleted. Me. Well, what a shame. Right. Now, I think we should tell each other about our quests, as it were, because
No, I agree.
Well,
What are your guys' goals?
Well, I've just got to make one thing very clear from the start. And probably affects the party quite a lot. I should have mentioned it beforehand. It's about my mother. Sasha, I believe I've already spoken to you about this.
briefly, yes.
Hmm.
Your mother
is a complete and utter psychopath,
and
is
currently wants you either back or dead or both.
From what new information I've gathered, it's back. From what I can tell, she's the reason for my abilities. It's been suggested that she lost power when my abilities started gaining in. So my going theory is that she
wishes to take them back.
Yes, wishes to take them back from me, and therefore she might be sending people after me.
What does she want back?
Me. And quite frankly, I think I could probably take her, but I don't want to risk it, and she is insane isn't quite the right word. She makes me look like a very nice person.
Oh, good God.
You're with me now. Well, when I left my mother, she had just killed my father, I believe, and convinced me to push my brother off a cliff. We'll come back to that one.
Yes, I feel like there's more we should talk about there.
But she's might be sending people after me. This is the reason I took your amulet and gave it to me, Malcom.
To make sure she didn't find you.
Exactly.
Understandable, I suppose.
She's said she has plenty of political power within the Elven Kingdoms. I'm not sure how she's managed it. But
If there's
That's
one
what
thing I found, ruthless people are always able to get power when they need it.
mm,
It takes those of either similarly ruthless or of a significantly noble stature to be able to go against them.
don't worry, I'm as equally ruthless as my mother. Just tend to be more subtle about it.
Now, were we there when Gree mentioned something about your dark buddy that you've got going along with you?
I don't know what dark buddy you're talking about.
The Shard.
What? No.
No.
What do I? No. Well, so I'm just gonna say, do they?
Gree wasn't the one who mentioned it. It was Abod.
Oh,
who
have I
did.
got my characters mixed up?
Yes, you have.
Abod was the one who did. He did something like last session.
And I specifically split off from the rest of you who are looking at various bits around the room to talk to Abbott about this.
Yeah. So, but he did do something. So you would know that there is something.
There's something up.
You just don't know what.
Right.
I mean, we knew that he got the staff. We couldn't figure out if there was anything up with it. But
Stuff was perfectly fine. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
He's right. Staff was perfectly fine.
Now,
What was in the staff, however?
you mentioned something to Abbott. Seemed like you and Abbott talked about something that you seemed quite determined to keep away from all of us. Yes. And considering I already knew about your mother, is there something else we should know about?
No. Don't know what you're talking about.
Inciting the bitch out of this.
Insight versus whatever skill is necessary for this.
It'll be deception, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just...
It's deception. I'm sorry. They know I'm lying, Chris. We can't hide that fact from them.
Yeah, he
14.
knows.
Yes.
Yeah, Sasha
You are
knows
lying.
you're lying. Behold, make an insight check if you want to think he's lying or not.
Alright, let's see.
Look,
9.
That's the weak snake.
You're
I
full
got
of
an eight.
bullshit.
Okay, right.
Elsyan, let me be clear. Look, you're lying. I don't care what it is. I'd rather you told us the truth and we could help all together than anything else. Like, unless you're going to tell me you somehow controlled the red dragon that killed my family, there's literally nothing you could say that would make me not help, at least in some way.
Well, it does seem to be some form of. Just double check this. It is some form of like abyssal being talking to me.
It's not abyssal.
It's not abyssal.
From what you can tell, it seems to be of a plane that has either been forgotten or it's old enough that you don't know about it from basic understanding of possession and arcane knowledge.
So there's some sort of being from some. It's not a friendly being, but then again, I'm not a friendly person. And it has asked me to track down various shards, and the staff was one of them.
What are the
And
other
and remember that being that attacked the academy?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was in the necklace. Right? Yes. Yes, help was in the necklace that she was, yes. It was in the woman's necklace. And she had moved down, and last I checked, she had moved down south out to a fort down there, just outside the Enchanted Glade.
That's why you mentioned wanting to head south, then.
Exactly.
well, we'll have to head that way then.
Yes.
The way
We could also continue down.
Do you believe you can harness the power of this shard and not be used by it?
Oh, I definitely believe that, and at the very least, the staff is now perfectly safe to use by anyone.
Mm.
They'll all be tied to some items of some power. It seems. There's also another one in Boston.
Boston.
Is this a shard?
This is the other side of the mountains.
If we can get to Boston, it would be not unuseful for me to be near that area. I have a friend near Voradun who could perhaps help us in a number of our endeavors. He is my teacher, and he is quite capable. I was planning to meet up with him at some point anyway, for use in my work with dragon scales, but he might be able to help with this as a quite powerful cleric.
So,
Bless you.
Bless you.
You might have heard of some of our work. The brittle hammer smithy.
Chris, this is something Elsyan would naturally know.
History check with disadvantage.
I was about to say,
No.
No, I'm going to say Elsyan doesn't know or care. I don't really know about your work, Sasha. Quite frankly, what makes you think I care?
Well, I mean, we make some very good trinkets and the like. We would do some very high quality work. I actually made a few pieces that were accepted by the White Dragons on what was the festival called again? The
Frozen Crown.
The Frozen Crown Festival. Yes. Which is, whilst they accept most gifts, they appreciate quality.
So something that I can now tell everybody because you would know this.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, Elsyan, you're the only one who doesn't know this, from me telling you. Each year, in the mid of winter, there are 3 stages. There is the Frost's Embrace, which covers everything above that line in snow. There's basic snow, there's frost, there's all that. Then it goes into the Frigid Breach, which is everything under that, or everything above that, is covered in snow and ice. And this is a recurring theme that happens every year. Then, for 3 days, it reaches the Frozen Crown. During the Frozen Crown, ancient and adult and young white dragons fly down from the north to lay their eggs in the mountain ranges. From there, they proceed to protect those eggs, and they have a harmony festival with the civilians of the different members of each of the towns. These dragons are peaceful for the most part. There are rogue ones which will go out of their way to attack and kill anybody who would otherwise celebrate it. And then the following year they come back. When they lay their new eggs, they collect the young from the previous year. That's basically how it works. So the dragons have a tendency to enjoy being part of civilization.
Yes. Think Christmas, but dragons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and generally the
Chris
people
Smash.
bring. Generally, the people bring offerings to them, and they bring a few offerings and things to the people to help them through the rough time.
And at one point, I every year I'd go and basically bring offerings and the like, just because, it's the done thing. You do it, and I thought they'd appreciate some piece.
Okay.
in case this is confusing to anyone, I only hate evil red dragons. Or, well, I hate evil dragons in general, but nice dragons I'm fine with.
What
Are
about
you
the
fine
nice red
with
dragon?
nice red dragon?
It is only sort of, because technically one of those is my god, so, you know.
Speaking.
Very
Okay, so
weird.
you're trying to hunt down an evil red dragon, but your god is a red dragon.
But my god hates evil red dragons. Or doesn't like them.
And he is one.
No, she is. She is a
She.
good red dragon. She
Does
is
this
the queen
assume
of
his
all.
dragon god's gender?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck you.
I am sorry. I am terribly sorry. I am sorry. I did not mean to.
Oh, not a problem. I mean, you've got to really have a look at dragons to tell whether they're male or female.
I don't care. I kill everything. Dragon. I need to kill a dragon. So I can be accepted home. Or show my hometown. Drive.
Where
that
is
I
your
am
home,
with.
actually?
Oh, my home is in the... What was the continent, Chris?
Highlands.
The Highlands. I'm from the Highlands.
Where's that on the...
That isn't in the Empire. That's a completely different area.
That's the whole
I
other...
mean,
the Empire.
Like in
it's
like on the other. It's on like the other side
the
of the
Empire
hemisphere.
is here. It's on the other third, on the other side of the Barren Lands.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, we could just head over to. If we head over this bit, we could just probably keep just going into the Highlands.
Yeah, I'm from around like here. Exactly. If you had the full map.
And if I'm to understand this, you can't go back until you kill something.
Well,
Cool.
I was exiled because they thought because I was weak, all of my comrades died.
If they thought
So
you were
now,
weak.
yes, because we were hunting down this Behir, but then every single one of my friends was killed, and only I survived and killed the Behir.
Sorry. They think you're weak because you were the only survivor.
Yes,
Doesn't that seem a bit counterintuitive?
that's how we work. You wouldn't understand.
I really don't, because like you're the only one that didn't die. Surely that means you're the strongest.
No, because he didn't kill his
Yes.
quarry.
No,
But
in his society,
yes,
yeah,
I
a
couldn't
mark of
protect
strength,
my
yeah.
friends.
Indeed.
He couldn't protect his friends, and the quarry got away, which means he wasn't strong enough to defeat it.
Wait,
and
I thought he
wasn't
killed
strong.
the quarry.
I
No.
killed it afterwards.
Close up.
Oh.
Or what
Right.
you think is your quarry.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was actually that one in the shadows.
Yeah, but that's a different. Yeah.
No question. If we steal that and you bring that back, would that gain you like freedom?
Well, now I'm hunting for the biggest thing ever, so I can show them that I was actually strongest.
Right.
And I can go back and become leader.
I mean,
Maybe.
would a red dragon do?
Probably.
Good.
I need to bring back the skull and show them that they were wrong.
Cool. Yep. Sure. We can do that. Yep.
Mm.
Just let me beat its fucking face in first.
Am I to assume you've been attempting to keep track of this red dragon? Is it one in
As best-
particular, or do you
As
just
best,
have a
one in
wonderful install?
particular, but as best I can via rumor and word of mouth. It's I know where it should be, and my goddess will guide me to it. I am. Not all red dragons are evil, but the ones that are hated by their queen, my goddess, Aleuir. With her help, I am to hunt down them, and specifically for myself, that one that killed my family, and I shall kill it, and in return, I will gain power and the power to deal with the rest of them, to bring them back under the either kill them or bring them back into the fold, as it were, of Aturan's hour.
Certainly a noble goal.
Does that sound about right, Chris?
Yeah.
Cool.
This was an adult red dragon, yes?
But from the tales I was given, it was young, but young to adolescent. But I cannot say for certain how old it is now. Whilst they age slowly, it is not. It's not entirely clear as to how old they were. I only know from the word of others, as I was the only survivor and was knocked unconscious by the explosion's cause.
I see, so you didn't get much of a look of it.
No.
Well,
breweries with fire do not mix well.
No. Well, I can certainly sympathize with your plight, trying to hunt down those who have taken your home from you.
I don't mean this to just be mere vengeance, but at this point I wish it to be justice.
That's fair. If you stop it now, you prevent any such catastrophes from befalling anyone else.
No more dwarves will have to lose their burrow mate. Now, Queglod, you tell us about yourself.
Well, you know I've been.
I'm actually going to disappear for a second because I'm getting cool, but I will. But you keep talking and just someone put me in.
Okay.
Okay. Well, as I'm sure you're all aware, I've been a servant of the Raven Queen most of my life. I've not been a warlock of hers for very long. I was, well, I suppose I can tell the four of you. I was working with an organization we were known as the Wingless. Our goal was to attempt to enforce her will on the Martial Plane.
What do you mean enforce?
So, the Raven Queen has a plan for each soul. Each one has an allotted time to die and join hers. Sometimes people attempt to prevent this natural order through necromancy or other unnatural resurrections. This is when we step in. Try and...
Whoops. Alright. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, this was when we would step in. We would keep track of anyone we thought was likely to become a problem, and if they attempted anything, we would move to shut them down.
Mm-hmm. So what happened?
Well, I believe I've told you before, but for a long time we were operating out of my parents' manor. After they were
back.
Yes, after they were taken down by the organization, they took me in and I transformed the place into a base of operations.
So, quick run through for you, Harlan.
Mm-hmm.
Queglod's part of an organization known as the Wingless. They worship the Raven Queen and they enforce her powers on the Martial Plane, dealing with unnatural resurrections and/or undead, and what you just heard.
Okay.
Also, Sam said he needs to go.
That's fine.
Yeah. Speak to you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Yep.
Bye.
Back.
See you later. But recently, we were attacked.
Oh.
Who attacked?
We weren't sure. Some necromancer, or an army of undead, took down my facility. Myself and Baldric were the only survivors.
Baldric?
At least so.
Wait, who is Baldric?
Baldric's the guy whose skull you're wearing. Behold,
Oh.
Behir.
Oh.
He had been tamed previously. We were using him as a mount. Not my mount of choice, but he was the only one we had left.
Oh, I see.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
So that's why you're beholden.
Yes. That's why I have become his mount now. Or her mount now.
I ought to have seen it coming, really. We had multiple branches across the Highlands. The lights were dropping off, agents weren't responding to messages. But we didn't have the manpower at the time to investigate. And when they came to the door, we didn't have the manpower to fight them off. Yes, that was when I became a warlock, with no other field agents available to take up the duties of kicking down doors and taking out
names
and taking out targets. I had to step up. Due to my advanced age, I was clearly not cut out to be a warrior. And I'm afraid I lacked the training to be any sort of wizard.
I don't think your age is the only thing stopping you from being a warrior.
I mean, have you tried...
You're being racist right now,
I'm very sorry. Please forgive me.
I mean, Queglod, I often talk to my goddess. Have you tried contacting the Raven Queen?
Well, I contacted her once when I asked her for her powers.
Maybe her power. Maybe she can guide you to the correct course of action.
Maybe I had.
I mean, maybe don't do it until we don't need Abbott anymore, because I'm suspecting that'll be an interesting conversation.
I can't say I'm entirely clear on why we need him now, but
it's more. If I'm saying we keep a hold of him and gather what information we can on his necromantic leader and their situation. See if we can't find a way to make him mortal again, because I mean, wouldn't that be good information for anyone else we encounter? But other than that, I mean, he is a valuable source of information. And if he can be used if he can be used, then surely that isn't too terrible. And that's something that's good.
Wait, who exactly are you talking about?
Abod.
Oh, Abod.
Yeah, the unlife guy. Yes. Anyway, I don't have as frequent contact with the Raven Queen as perhaps a cleric might with their deity.
Well, I find it's always helpful to at least pray to our gods.
That's fair. I have been approached in dreams on at least one occasion recently. But yes, at the moment I'm without a lead. That's why I'm in the Empire investigating.
Well, I certainly believe that this Dawn Marshal work is probably going to be what leads us
all in the right direction. For me, I'm hoping for. It seems quite selfish to say, but I'm hoping for the power to fight against something that I cannot fight against right now. I obviously, as a cleric, I wish to do away with the undead, even though that is not necessarily the calling of my goddess, as much as it is yours. but it is an important thing to do, I believe, to rid the world of evil, as it were. But what am I saying? We're forgetting something. Malcom, I think it's your turn.
Malcom?
Well, I mean, I came from a tribe in the Barren Lands, and one day our village was attacked by a dragon, a red dragon to be exact.
Oh my fuck.
Wait, what happened to the dragon?
We killed it.
Oh, thank God. What year was this? How many years ago?
You mind helping me out, Chris?
How old are you? How old are you? Because I believe you were young but in the bounty hunting age, so you would have been about 16.
21 now.
Okay, so 5 years ago.
Okay, that could be the same dragon. I mean, no matter what, good on you. Fucking murder. Evil dragons should die.
What kind of dragon was it?
Red dragon?
Oh.
An adult red dragon, to be exact.
Yeah.
What?
An adult
dragon.
red dragon.
Oh.
Did it look like a young adult dragon?
What was that?
I'm gonna say from what he said, does it look like was it a young adult dragon? From what your memory serves, it would have been a older adult dragon, and in the fight, it would have taken you plus your entire tribe of warriors, which would be 500 plus individuals, just to bring that thing down.
Yeah,
because you're a ground-based tribe.
It might not have been my one, but even so, if a creature, and especially a dragon, is going to attack, then good that you took it down.
But after killing the dragon, I wanted to learn more about dragons, and after that I learned more about dragons, did research, and now I'm looking to befriend a dragon.
I mean, if you get one young, fine. Don't expect to befriend an angry dragon ever. They're awful.
I wasn't planning to. During the what was the festival called? The Frozen Crown or something?
Yeah, Frozen Crown.
During the Frozen Crown that recently passed, I got information from one of the dragons about a dragon sanctuary that I plan to head to on the way through the Enchanted Glade.
Where is it exactly?
It's
I'm assuming if it's within the Enchanted Glade, then this would be for peaceful dragons then.
This
for the most part.
Mountain here, it's below it, in between them. Or volcano, I think that was.
To be exact of what you've got there, you have the keep, you have Volgrim Volcano, which is there, and then you have what thing you're looking for there, and you're looking for Odorichi in somewhere in that region.
No, it's a paw.
Okay.
Yeah, let's head in. Let's head there.
Yeah,
let's do that. I totally don't have a lot of stuff.
Volgrim is something like that, and then where you're looking for overlaps with that. So, to be
yes,
exact.
bitch. Give me that volcano loving.
We could go there next. Well, we're going down anyway, right?
We could head down. If we were to take the path, we could theoretically head down towards Drakenforge and Crag Anvil and Magna Reach and
Then we need to go through the enchanter glade, though.
It would cut time off of our journey, yes. Perhaps we back to Adamantia after going through the enchanted glade in the first place. That way we could theoretically reach your bit and then travel back.
Technically, both of mine, because both of mine are in an enchanted glade.
Yes, we can deal with both of your things, and then I can finally get to a fucking volcano. Basically, a volcano is a thing that would let me, like, potentially melt down dragon scales into armor.
Ah.
Well, that would certainly be useful.
Yeah, yes. As it stands, right. Well, I know I'm not the most fond of red dragons, but that's only the ones that are evil and the ones that hurt people. I mean, in general, dragons that hurt people are bad in my book, providing they did it unprovoked. But I'm not going to have any problems with you having a dragon and training it. Or trying to befriend it.
Oh, and just so you guys are aware, if we ever go to the Barren Lands, the Queen of the Barren Lands, technically my boss of bosses, she's sort of got an ancient red dragon, and some other red dragons as well.
What?
Question. These red dragons, what does she do with them?
They're her companions.
I understand they're her companions. What I mean is, does she do anything with them? Who does she fight with them? Do they do things for her?
They fight the threats of the Barren Lands.
And
that would
those
mostly
threats include the Empire?
Would mostly be orcs. Orcs constantly raid the lands of the Barren Lands.
Okay, right.
Yes.
You know
Have you
why
got a
I'm
surge currently,
double-checking
Malcolm?
that, Chris.
What?
Have you got a surge at the moment, Malcolm?
Yes.
Okay. I was just going to say I was going to give you one for remembering that, because I remember dropping that hint once and that was it. I'm not expecting you to remember that.
I think all of us have a surge.
At the moment, everyone should do, yeah.
Yes. Yes, well, that's good. Sorry, there's been some... Red dragons in particular have been violent in recent years. Of course, recent in a relative term, with you more mortal races.
Sasha, Malcolm, and I would say Elsyan, but Elsyan's not here. All of you would know that the Empire and the Barren Lands are in good standing with each other, and they have been for many generations and centuries.
Okay, cool. Yes, well, there's been troublesome recently, as shown by, the destruction of my homeland, countless other dragon attacks that are in the area. I'm assuming dragon attacks in the Barren Lands as well, although I can't be certain. Something may be riling them up.
If that's the case, this queen might be someone definitely worth speaking to, though I don't know how easy it would be to get an audience with someone so powerful.
I mean, I imagine if Malcolm, if you managed to get a dragon, surely that could be something that would the queen, as a fellow dragon.
That cannot be told for certain. There could be a possibility that me getting a dragon companion could turn the queen against me and could possibly make her want me dead.
There's an issue here, right? We've already got like one powerful lady trying to murder us. I mean, I've got a queen of red dragons tangentially on my side, but she can't really interfere in the realms of the mortals. So
Well, her reasons would, if it came to that, it would be more. I would be a threat to the line of succession.
All right. I'm not sure how this works in your culture, but would it be possible to swear an oath of fealty to her and her line?
Would it?
From what you know, that kind of thing would not be allowed.
No.
When you, just as a general understanding, and we'll say that you explain this as well. The Queen has a line of succession of taming dragons. However, the only way to go under the Queen's rule is to become the owner of a clan, and that clan must have a particular number of individuals. They must then be accepted as one of the main generals and clan tribe owners of the tribe itself. That is effectively working under fealty, according to what you're saying. An individual cannot claim fealty at all. So, in other words, if Sudz wanted to do, or if Malcom wanted to do this, he'd either have to have 100 or so kids. Which, go ahead, that's fine with that. I'm making you do baby checks. And,
I mean, we could continue my plan of starting a cult.
Or you need to have a group which is consistent of either one race or a significant number of people following under one banner. So the tribe that you come from breaches into the several thousands.
Does it count the tribe of Goliath?
Question. What if Malcom joins a group and then they swear fealty to the Queen?
Well, I am still technically part of the. Yeah, I'm still technically part of the Centaur tribe.
Yeah, but it won't work because technically that would be classed as challenging the throne after that.
Yep.
So it works on the manner that owning a dragon, as in like befriending one, is offending the line of succession, which is why it's considered
Basically, it's classism in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a chance that this will happen. It's not a definite that it'll happen.
So maybe we shouldn't ask the Queen for help out. Or maybe I could ask the Queen myself. I mean, Oturan is the mother of all red dragons, so...
Well, I mean, I'd have to talk to the Baroness before I can even go back there, so...
As it stands, right, is there anything else I need to say? I am on a holy quest from my goddess. I can't tell you any more than that, but I am on a holy quest for her. It's not a matter of I don't want to tell you, it's a matter of I can't tell you. She is my goddess.
Okay.
We understand.
Yes. That's fine.
It's nothing massive, it's just sort of a side... well, it's not really a side thing I'm doing, but it's not something that should come up too often. It's just a matter of eventually I will have to deal. I will be in a position to do it, and then I will do it.
Religions are complicated.
Yeah. They're not simple, I'll give you that. So you want to get a dragon companion?
That is correct.
That is all right.
There's some conflicting goals here.
Behold, you want to kill a dragon or equivalent creature who is big and scary to prove your own strength.
Yes.
I want to kill any evil dragon that would harm others, and specifically the one that killed my entire family. Queglod, you are currently looking for the necromancers who basically destroyed your order. And I'm imagining also you want to potentially rebuild your order.
Yeah.
Yes. Though I'll need to take out the one who shut it down in the first
Of
place
course,
first.
of course. Elsyan wants to escape Mother and potentially take over from her, and also find these dark shards to gain power, which which we know is owned by the necromantress who is here. We are all Dawn Marshals.
Yes, so
And
we probably
so-
first need to get stronger and also collect these Dawn Marshals relics.
What I'm seeing here is like that we have two main goals really: kill necromancers and dragon. Now, now, Malcolm, are you obviously you are all right with killing evil dragons as your people did it before now? We may not be. We can't. I don't believe we could kill an adult dragon now. We can't. We aren't strong enough.
No, there is no way that we could kill
Not even a little
dragon.
bit. But that is a goal for me eventually. We must become stronger. It's not unlikely to believe that all this necromantic stuff going down is connected to the previous Dawn Marshals and their stuff, and it would be unfortunate for it to not all be connected. Like the coincidence of it would be.
Recently, we've been facing a lot of undead.
Yes.
Seemingly without easy explanation.
It seems like what we have to do is we have to become stronger as ourselves and as Dawn Marshal. So I would suspect that going to the various places, or the various areas would be the tombs and potential tombs and battle sites of the previous Dawn Marshals would be our best bet whilst gathering what information we can. I wish to improve my smithing, and I wish to improve my mining so that I can, first of all, bankroll us with some of my work, and also create weaponry and arms that can be used against dangerous creatures, specifically red dragons, but it can be adapted as need be. The closest place for us to go would be Skycom Keep. Nope, not the ruins. That's a different thing that's connected to me. But
that's not one of these.
Yeah,
No,
this is sort of a me thing.
Yeah, the Dark Reap ruins. Should we just say you explained it to them in a short detail?
Yeah, sure, but like, please explain it to me because I
Dark
know
Reap
it.
Ruins is a old dwarven stronghold that remains within a fissure which opened up long ago due to tectonic movement and stuff. The fissure is deep and there is very little lava that flows up from it. However, along the side of the fissure on two halves is the broken apart Dark Reap Ruins. They're known as the Dark Reap Ruins now because the entire thing is filled with zombie dwarves. And that
it just seems like a place we should explore.
They're the remainder of the inhabitants for whatever. There is an overhead path that goes past it, which generally ignores all of the undead, which is used as a trade route as well.
Yes, so
undead, necromancy.
Yes, I too realize the potential for coincidence there. I would suggest we head to the Skycom Keep.
Yes,
there we can potentially find another artifact of the Dawn Marshal.
Yes.
We can potentially find treasure there, which can help empower us. And also, we can head down to the Enchanted Glade to gather up, to help Malcom along. From there, we are close to Volgrim, which is helpful for me in both my mining
Where's
and
Volgrim?
my Here-ish.
Ah,
Here-ish.
oh,
Here,
the
I
volcano thing.
Yeah.
can, where I can both find, I can be closer to my goddess to discover how to, more accurately, how to make dragon scale armor, and how best to make weaponry that it can kill dragons and similarly powerful creatures. And of course, since we're in an area where we're getting the help from the Dawn Marshals, you, Queglod, can be helped with your abilities to potentially kill undead, seeing as that was their primary goal.
Well, that would certainly be
Elsyan will, of
helpful.
course, be empowered, with, as we all will, I assume, by this journey. And also, we will be closer to places like Drakenforge and Oregon, the capital, and even my old home. Although, admittedly, that's still quite a distance away.
We could go to the capital next. Maybe we could find something out from Maverick.
Personally, I'd suggest heading down to the Dwarven
Or we
cities
could go down. Yes.
just for the fact that that's my personal want, because I am, shall we say,
There's 2 more
that are downwards.
things down there. Yes.
We could feasibly then head around. We could, once we search these 2, we could head back through there, to the capital, and from there we could head to my workshop with my.
Maybe we could find out the last ones.
Yes, the capital would have more information than Adamantia, and of course we can talk to Maverick.
That's the bubble for roughly. He was somewhere in there.
Oh, he wasn't in the capital?
No, he was somewhere in that bubble on the sun-kissed mountain range.
I'm aware that like he's a forger, so like Volgrim's a pretty decent bet to at least have a quick look in.
By the way, if we do head up in that direction, we might want to be careful. There's a possibility that there's a basilisk up there.
Basilisk?
Where roughly would you say this basilisk is?
Where is this thing?
Yeah.
There was the rough location of where it was.
In that case,
we are going there.
In that case, hear me out here. We should go through the Enchanted Glade and then up here.
No, we are not skipping out.
A heads up for all this stuff. The dotted lines mean underground.
Oh, right.
So if you travel this way, you travel underneath the mountains. What you saw for what you think is a basilisk, was above ground on the mountainside.
Okay.
So going underground, this path is perfectly safe potentially.
If we go underground, are there ways we can get out to
yes,
the keep?
Volgrim you could climb up. However, that would be basically climbing a mountain, as it were. So that would probably require. I'm not going to say multiple days to climb because it's effectively a collapsed volcano with like a lot of layers of brimstone at the bottom and very minor volcanic activity.
Is this on the top as well?
You would assume so, yes. Although you don't know entirely. That's why it's a large circle rather than a small circle.
I read up on it. Can I get like a base? Can I check?
I'd say from what it says, it used to be a giant keep. So it would be above ground.
Okay. Yes. Theoretically, we can come out near Volgrim.
Yeah, we could look around.
Look around there, and I suppose we could then head down to the Enchanted Glade. But it would probably be quicker to head through the Enchanted Glade there and then climb up the mountain. But more difficult. Really, it becomes a matter of which you prefer.
It's going to be a long journey either way, and I can't say spending that long underground sounds all that appealing.
Yeah.
The entire party has dark vision, still doesn't want to go underground.
Yeah, being underground for several days in a row.
Yeah, it's not
just a darkness thing.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'd be able to deal with the light issue, and I'm quite adept as a dwarf. Even as one who has mostly been upside for most of my life, I'm still aware of how to survive underground.
I would be fine if we
Well,
do above ground as well.
And then there's
Wink,
Malcom.
wink.
I'd say we
Yeah.
choose. Yeah, whoever prefers.
I prefer this way.
All right then. That's just because you get to do it quick.
Well, not necessarily. There are these are the things that you currently know which are to take into account. You know that there is, from the bounty board at the Shattered Sword, you know there is a... this is obviously in advance after festival or before festival, depending on what you guys choose. There's an orc camp up here, which is causing trouble. There's
a spider nest down
There's
here.
a spider nest there. You know there's missing peoples around here. You know that there is what you suspect to be basilisks, but all you know is that there are statues up here.
Yeah,
It could be a Medusa.
It look.
That isn't an
like-
improvement.
Yeah, that's probably worse.
It's
Come
not
on.
bad. Doesn't
We
mean.
also know that the mines over here are taken over.
The mines are there. They've been taken over by goblins. And by the way, they would be your main way through to get through here, because otherwise you'd have to go down this way.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you.
Is it possible to go above though?
It is possible to go above, yeah. It's just it will be a lot slower, and you'd need a lot more provisions because you'd need winter clothing. You'd need a lot of rations.
I wouldn't need it.
No, you wouldn't, because you got the altitude thing. But that's something to keep in mind. Then you somewhere in this general region is
is sanctuary.
No. Oh yeah, sanctuary. Sorry. Yeah.
And then
then you've got Volgrim, which is there, and then you've got Odorichi is believed to be here.
Odorichi? What's that?
That's Sudz's thing.
Oh.
And then you've got the Skycalm Keep there. So
And then Maverick around there.
And then Maverick around here. So they're all linked. It's just a matter of what order you choose to do things in.
Yeah, I think what's probably best is we go down this way, doing the quest as we go
through the
and we
Infernal
end
Glade.
up going up here and then potentially back down just to get through.
I
the
mean,
glade
if we
with
do the
speed
quest,
check.
don't we need to go back here to hand them?
No, but we can hand them in at any time.
You can hand them in at any time. Once you've completed it, the contract completes.
We go here after like 10 years. We come back. Oh, we did these quests. Yeah.
Yeah, just have
Money.
300 gold. Yeah. I'd say there'd probably be like a year time gap. I'm not going to count that. Where there's like a year where you have like a debt, and you can like claim it within a year, or it disappears, or whatever. But yeah, so you've got all of that you can work with.
Right.
So yes, and we will say that after all this planning, all this thinking, and so on, you spend about 2 to 3 hours in the bath. You get out of the baths, dry yourselves off. It was a nice bath. You all feel very relaxed. You all feel very enjoyed. Bhold, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
What happened?
Nice.
Okay.
You recover 1 point from exhaustion.
Still got one more to go.
One more to go, yeah, but it means that he only
got a
needs
lot
to
of
rest
time
one
off.
night before he can start fighting again. If that becomes a thing. And we will say, for the determination for the group, that you guys will take 3 to 4 days off where you guys do things.
We said 4, I think.
4. Okay, 4 days
That's fine
off.
for me.
Yeah, so this is the
I will say
first day?
this would just be the end of the day. Then it
Oh,
would
yeah,
be 4
this would be
days.
the
So it'd be 3. Then it
Okay,
would
yeah.
be 3 to 4 days from there.
Yeah.
So
Right,
I
I still need to talk to Rohal if there's time, but
that's fine. We can do
We
that.
can
now.
do that later.
We can do that now. We can do that later. That's up to you. But we'll say for now that
Because-
what happens is you guys head back to the Undercity, unless you have other things you wish to take care of, and then from there you guys decide that you are going to. You're either going to go off and do your own things for a couple of days, but you're going to meet back up at the end of each day to try and get to know each other better or whatever. And then that way you can have days in which you are doing special things, and we can go over those as groups and so on before next week.
Yeah.
So, thank you to everybody who did stick with us if you are watching. And also thank you to the YouTube side if you are watching this. Yeah, next campaign will be this Thursday when my players attempt to potentially take on Crawley, which will be fun.
That was scary last time, Chris.
Yeah, I know. And
Guys,
other than that, the party will continue their adventures next Sunday. After that, I believe the week after that, we are having a day off because we again have either multiple people missing or just for convenience sake. But that will be finalized and then we will deal with that. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.